That's tempting to take, guys. Morning, guys. Just looking at US 30 right here, the signal that's on the opening candle, but it's, I mean, it's obviously manipulated, so we're not going to take this one, even if it appears. Yeah, let me go ahead and send out this link and then we get started. All right, let me send out this link. It looks like we're good on Telegram. Let me send this link out to the Facebook real quick, guys, and then we can get started. So I was just saying, guys, I was looking at US 30 right now. There's a pretty nice bullish candle right here on this opening candle, but we're probably going to skip this one because, obviously the opening candle is usually manipulated as a lot of these orders, come flooding in. So let me post this link up on our social media real quick, guys, and we can get started. Send this out over here. All right. And one last place, let me sit on the Instagram real quick, and then we should be good to go. Let me screenshot this. And then we'll take a look at our current active positions as well, guys. We have a couple positions currently active right now, and I'll go over that, and then we'll see what's good with everything. All right, let me get this on here. All right, cool. Looks like everything's good to go. All right, guys, morning. Let me go ahead and check out the chat real quick, and then we can get started. Let's see who's here. Morning, Spencer. Morning, Wavebum. Morning, Alkin. Morning, Hoke. Morning, Varun. Morning, Meditation. Morning, Joey. Morning, Indra. Morning, Greg. Morning, Matt. Morning, Dennis. Morning, Kushi. Morning, everybody. So Dennis is asking, what's the news on U.S. pairs? EU heavily manipulated right now. Let me pull up EU. Well, I mean, most of the stuff that's getting affected right now, correlated with the U.S. is due to the it's due to the new stimulus. Obviously, when money starts to get printed, which was probably gonna happen now, after they voted on it, obviously you're gonna start to see the U.S. dollar weaken a lot over time. So let me pull up EU real quick. Yeah, this is definitely some manipulation right here. Wait, this is 10 a.m., 10 minutes. Let me go on the 4 hour. I don't really see much manipulation on EU, Dennis. It's supposed to go up. This is just like a small pullback right here. Let's see. Yeah, it's only about like 30 pips. I wouldn't consider this manipulation. It's just pulling back because it's pushed up so high. So you can see from this low right here, it pushed up from here up to here about 70, yeah, a little over 70 pips. And then again, right here, it pulled back a little bit. So you can see these retracements. it pulls back about the same amount, about 40 pips right there. So it pushed up again right here for about another 70, 80 pips normal. And then it pulls back again about 30, 40 pips, right? So about the same right there, pulls up, and then same situation. It pulls up and then it just retraces down a little bit. About the same amount, 40 pips, right? So it's not really, I wouldn't consider this manipulation, but all of the USD pairs are going up. I mean, obviously they're going to have a bullish bias because the US dollar is weak, but it's not, I don't think it's necessarily being manipulated. It's just having a slight pullback right there. If you look at all the US pairs right here, see, this is a GU pair I was going to call last night. Unfortunately, I didn't. I should have. We would have hit 70 pips, but they're all bullish. So they're bullish, small retracement. Same with AU, all bullish. NU, bullish as well. And a smaller retracement. This just, it happens because it's not always a smooth move up. You know, it pushes up a bit. And then in order for you to look at that, you can always go from the low. So you go from the low down here, you see how far it pushes up, like 100 something pips, and then the retracement right here. It's about 70 pips. Again, push up for about 100 pips, it looks like, or even more. Yeah, about 100 pips. Same move up, and then same retracement right here again for another 50 pips. Same situation, pulls up again, another 100 pips. It's like exactly on point, 100, 120 pips. And then here we go for the retracement. It's probably going to retrace maybe like 50 pips again, right? So probably retrace down to here at this structure, possibly pull back a little bit, and then shoot right back up again. So yeah, I wouldn't consider it, I would just consider it like normal movement because obviously they're not going to let people just, you know, buy and then make a ton of money. They're going to have to pull it back a bit. I also took a UJ over here. So I don't know if any of you guys caught this as well, but I caught this right here, UJ for about, was it 50 pips? Thanks, Brian, for giving me the heads up on this. Last night, Brian hit me up, asked me, he asked me like, what do I think about UJ? And without even thinking, I just entered the trade. So I took that trade and I hit full TP right here. So thanks for that, Brian. I didn't call this trade because it was like last minute. It was actually like down here. It is pretty far down and I was too late to call. So I just took it on my own, went to sleep, woke up to like about 500 in profit. So thanks for that, Brian. Other than that, let's check out other positions here. US 30. So that candle didn't close. Looks like this next one's going to be the bullish candle right here. So if this does close, we'll probably be taking this position. All right, nice. Perfect right here, guys. We have about 9 minutes left on here. So let me just go back to the chat real quick, see what's going on. But if this does close right here, we will be taking the buy position. And I think it should be good. Let's see if it's going to go and pass the high. It's going to get really close to the all-time high right here. So what we would do is if we take this trade is I'm probably going to give you guys 3 TPs maybe, because we need to be very careful, you know, just because the fact that it's New Year's Eve tomorrow, volatility is going to die down probably today. And on top of that, there's just going to be a lot of manipulation as people get out of the market, right? Because when people get out of the market, you're going to see some spikes in price. It's probably not going to happen right now. It's the 30th. Let's see. So we have one more day for the New Year's Eve. All right, cool. So we got 8 minutes left on this candle. I'm going to take a look at the chat real quick, but I will continue looking at this to see if this ends up closing. I'll probably wait for this to close before I move on to anything else. That way we make sure not to miss this trade. Let me get it ready on my phone as well for MT4. All right, got MT4 ready. Let me switch to my other account. I took these trades on my other accounts. I should have taken on my FTMO. It's all good. All right, let's see. We are right here. Okay, perfect. Yeah, guys. So you can see right here, this also satisfies the new addition that we use to the strategy now, where we have basically the buy signal will have to cross above this sell signal, right? It's way above it. So if we get this buy signal, I think it's definitely going to push on upwards. So I'm pretty excited for this. Let's see if it closes. Hopefully it does soon. And then we will, we'll take that trade. I'm going to go ahead and put this over here. Let an entry. Just going to set it up because I don't want to miss it. So I'm probably going to put 3 TPs, guys, because it's just a risky time to trade with, you know, the New Year's coming up soon. You know, ton of manipulation going on. Not with all the pairs, but with specific pairs, like pairs where they obviously think it's going to go in one direction. So, you know, the stimulus was passed. People, they signed the stimulus. I mean, Senate knocked down the increase, but it's still passing. So, you know, you could be getting that money pretty soon within probably by next week, if anything. So if that happens, obviously, you know, just looking at fundamentals, it should be heading up. So I think that's kind of what happened here. So last night, or yesterday during the yesterday morning when they sent the bill to the Senate, even though they voted to deny it, it still shot up from this point. So from 9 o'clock up until now, it shot up about 2,000 pips. So obviously you can see, you know, where that came from. Obviously it was right here when they were voting on it, came down, they voted on it, came right back up. So it's playing out exactly how we thought it would be. We're just waiting for this to close now. If this closes, we'll take the trade and then we will go on with our day. So let me check the chat real quick, see if there's anything else going on here. Morning, Peter. Morning, Susan. Morning, Lindelwy. Morning, David. Morning, Lebo. Morning, other David. Morning, Forex. Yeah, David said, y'all know what to do. Hit that like button. So yeah, guys, if you guys haven't already, please do us a favor and just hit the like button. That way it helps with our YouTube algorithm so we can reach other people that also, you know, want to sit in on these sessions. Yeah, guys, we have about 5 minutes left on here. And by the time that happens, we'll hopefully take this trade. But let's look at our other positions here. So I was going to call this odd CHF. Unfortunately, I didn't because, like I mentioned, you know, there's a lot of manipulation that happens towards the end of the year. So like right here, I was going to take this. Unfortunately, I did it. Our odd JPY looks great in profit. Our EUR/CAD, I was going to call this. Maybe it's a good thing I didn't because it's pulled back now. GU right here, I was going to call this, would have hit full TP for 70 pips. NU currently in profit, swung up, then it swung back down. It actually hit CP2 right here for 25 pips. Let's refresh this. And let's see if there's anything else here. And our USD CHF, it's obviously in profit. It's on the way to full TP. So all of our positions are currently in profit, and they all look good. So we'll see how that plays out. You know, I did avoid these calls. I should have called them odd CHF, GU. But I was just being careful because we're approaching the New Year holiday where volatility is going to die down pretty shortly. So that's why I avoided those calls. But if you guys did take them, because, you know, some of you guys or most of you guys do have the indicators and the strategies. So I think some of you guys did take these trades because I did see some profits this morning. Let's see. See what you guys were doing last night while I was asleep. Doesn't look like too much was going on, but it does look like a decent amount of people. Oh yeah, congrats to Victor. So Victor is one of the guys here in K2. You guys have probably seen him in the chat. You guys have seen him in like throughout K2. He finally got funded on FTMO. So there goes another funded FTMO member in K2. You know, congrats, Victor. I know you've been in K2 for a while. You finally got funded. And yeah, you know, it's been a good time. So let's see what's going on here. We got about 3 minutes left. 3 minutes. This candle is still pending right here. I'm just going to hold off on looking at anything new until this closes so that we don't miss this this candle. We only have about 3 minutes left anyway, so it's nothing too serious. So we can hold off on this currently, and then we'll see what's going on here. Nice. Morning, Brian. How's it going? Let's see. Shorts. Vernon's asking UK 100 is bearish. I think I'll take a look at UK 100 shortly. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat, and then I can take a look at any pair you guys want and analyze anything that you guys are curious about. So I'm currently waiting for this candle to close so we can take our daily US 30 entry. We have about 2 minutes left on the clock. If you guys are just joining the webinar, I'm just waiting for this to close so we don't miss the trade. I got my phone ready in my hand over here. I'm probably going to enter at market if it does close at that point. And then we will go on with our, our webinar. I think some of you guys took UK 100. I think some of you guys got stopped out. Some of you guys ended up holding on to it. The market's just being like pretty much pushed around all over the place, guys. So be careful with like some of your positions. I mean, for me, I'm being very careful right now. So I'm not taking, like, I missed out on these wins right here. We could have won odd CHF. We could have won GU, but I was over here being careful because of the holiday. So just be careful with your account, guys. Be aware that it is a holiday week. So you're going to see some unusual movements in the market. But yeah, looking at UK 100 right here, I'll take a look at it shortly for a more deeper look once this closes, and then we'll analyze and see what went wrong here. I mean, obviously something went wrong here. You guys took a buy. Looks like it hit stop loss for about, hit stop loss and then dropped a little further. So we'll take a look at that and then we'll see what's going on from that point. But currently we're just gonna keep watching US 30 real quick and see if this closes. We got about a minute left, guys. So once it hits 30 seconds, I'll start counting down. And then we'll see if, if this ends up closing. I wonder if there's anything in the market going on really pushing it. Okay, so UK lawmakers approved Brexit trade deal. So guys, this is probably what affected your UK 100 trade, if you guys are wondering. Generally we don't really take news into account, but obviously this would 100% affect the UK 100. So you guys kind of understand what happened with that trade. So let me see this. All right, we're getting to our 30 second mark, guys. I'll start counting down until we hit 15 seconds just to see if this ends up closing. It doesn't look like it's going to close with the signal and tag, but who knows? It might push up on that last very second, which happens a lot of the times. We got 20 seconds left on the clock, guys. We've got 15 seconds, 14 seconds, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, guys, I'm in the trade. So I entered it. If you guys want to enter, feel free. I'm inside the trade already. I'm currently in it, in profit. So let me send out the signal real quick. All right, guys, so I'm in this buy. So here's an entry. Just full TP. Stop loss. You guys got to remember to use your to adjust your stop loss and take profit when you guys can, because like I mentioned, the market's not going to be moving smoothly today, guys. So you guys got to be careful with your positions. Let me it's right there. I'm gonna try to get your HTML parameters right here too. So let me just change this over here. Entry is 30367. All right, so I'm in the trade, guys. So let me set up these alerts real quick. Looks like we're pretty much good to go. That was quick. All right, so TP1. 20 pips. 2. Number. Fix that. Whoops, I think it's probably like way up there. I'm gonna fix that. US 30. All right, fix that right there. All right, so I think I should be good. All right, looks like we're good, guys. So I have it all set up. I'm in the trade. Let me set up my parameters real quick. I always find it when people ask me questions, when people ask me if I'm going to hit full TP, guys, if I'm not aiming for full TP, why would I put the full TP there, guys? It's like people always want to ask these questions where it's like common sense, guys. If I give you guys a full TP, obviously I think price is going to go to that point. You know, I'm not going to make up a random number and tell you that, oh, here's full TP, but I'm not technically like trying to go for it. Guys, if I give you guys a TP and I give you guys a stop loss, those numbers are there for a reason. I'm not throwing out random numbers. You know, I throw those numbers out because I'm anticipating it to reach that point. It's up to you if you guys want to go for full TP, if you guys want to go for TP1, TP2, it's really up to you. Because it doesn't matter what I tell you guys, whatever advice I give you guys are still going to do what you want, right? So if I tell you guys to move your stop loss and profit, most of you guys are going to do it, and some of you guys aren't going to do it. So let me respond to this over here. Kenny said they think you can tell the future, Shawn. Yeah, exactly, guys. You know, obviously I give you guys these TPs for a reason. You know, if I didn't think price was going to go to this point, then it make no sense for me to give you this TP here. So just keep that in mind, guys. I get questions like that all the time. It's like, guys are like, oh, do you think are you going for a full TP, or they ask you like, do you think it's going to be bullish? But guys, if I'm calling a buy trade, obviously I think it's going to be bullish because I'm taking this buy trade. I don't want it to go the opposite way. So I don't know if it's just like you guys are just scared with the trades or not, or you guys just don't, you know, understand how trading works. Like if I'm calling a trade for a buy, I think it's going to go up. Obviously, I'm not going to think it's going to go down because I'm in a buy. If I think it's going to go down, I'm going to lose money. So why would I think that? And same with the TPs, guys. Like TP1, there's an exit strategy in place. You know, I know obviously it's probably going to reach these points, and it's up to you guys whether you guys want to move your stop loss and profit or not. But obviously, yes, I think it's going to go to full TP, guys, because I wouldn't give you guys a target up here. If I really thought it was going to go up here, then I would have given you a target lower or somewhere else where I thought it'd go. But I'm giving you guys this full TP, so obviously I think it's going to go up to that point. So let me continue over here and see what is going on. David, the FTMO entry was 30367. Yeah, so you're just off by 2 points, David. 30367. Let me go down the chat real quick. Looks like you guys had some conversations going on over here while I was calling that trade. I'm just getting started. I'm investing 1K today. Can you help me? I have no strategies. David said, don't trade today. Why are you gambling? Yeah, exactly. Morning, Vincent. Sorry, guys. I'm going down the chat. I'm trying to see what's going on here. Okay, so let's go to full TP. Definitely 100%. All right, so yeah, I think that's it right there, guys. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. If you guys want me to analyze anything, to put in the chat. I mean, literally anything, guys. If you guys have any, trade psychology questions, risk management questions, trading questions in general, any of our strategies, feel free to put them in the chat, and then I'll go over any of those questions. I mean, currently right now we have a couple trades active. We have US 30 right here, slightly below entry. We also have 4 other positions open, I think. So we have odd JPY right here, currently in profit. We had this odd CHF I was going to call. It's currently in profit. If you guys took it, most of you guys are trading this on your own anyway. So if you guys did take this trade, it's currently in profit, looking really good. I didn't call it because of last night's conditions. Euro CAD right here. I'm glad I didn't call this trade because it's temporary. It's like currently in some pullback. And then GU right here, which I was going to call, but I didn't. If you guys did take this trade on your own using the K2SR strategy, you guys would have been at full TP already for 70 pips. So these two are looking good. Our current official active trades, odd JPY currently in profit, NZD USD currently in profit, USD CHF currently in profit as well. So our USD CHF position is currently in profit about 35 pips. NZD USD was in profit like about 30 pips. It pulled back quite a bit, so it's like at 15 pips now. And then our odd JPY over here is currently in profit about 20 pips. So it's looking good. All of our positions are looking pretty good so far, as well as our US 30. It's pushing back up into profit right now as we speak. So it should be good. So one thing that you guys wanted me to analyze was, I think, a UK 100, right? So I'll pull up UK 100 real quick. I mean, you guys just had some bad luck this morning, guys. It's like you guys took this trade. There was news this morning, which I'm sure you guys weren't aware of. But yeah, so it dropped back like this below your entry. I mean, below your stop loss. But if you guys follow the news, it looks like, the UK lawmakers approved the Brexit trade deal. So this is going to affect the market, obviously. This is pretty big. They're approving the Brexit trade deal. They've been trying to approve this for like months now, if not years. I know they've been talking about this for a very, very long time. So it's definitely been like nearly a year. It's been a long time since they've been, trying to push for this, and they finally pushed it. So that's probably why you saw, an influx in movement right here for UK 100. So, I mean, you guys, like we mentioned yesterday, you guys can't win every trade. Sometimes you're going to run into some bad trades like this. Thankfully for this, it's different risk for this specific position, because I generally take a 101. So if I was to call this trade and I called 600 pips each way, it wouldn't have hit stop loss for me yet. So I still would have been in the trade currently if I did call this trade myself. But I mean, it doesn't look good, obviously, right? It's probably better that you guys got out at 200 pips rather than hang on to this all the way to 600 pips and possibly lose more. But yeah, that's pretty much what happened with the UK 100. I can go ahead and analyze the zones to see if there was any zones that were nearby. Maybe that's what caused the drop. I mean, I guess this could have caused it as well, the technicals, but I think it was mostly based to the news. Because if you guys, trade indices is very news based. It's very, if something happens in the news, it'll push indices pretty heavily. So I'm just going to draw these zones here, and then you guys can see what I mean by that. So we do have these zones right here. It's currently at a support. We hide that. Looks like your guys' entry was right over here. So it was like literally at resistance, but it did break it right here. So if after you guys took this trade, it shot up a little bit and then came right back down. So it wasn't respecting the structure, and it normally doesn't. So no, it's just bad luck, guys. You guys took that trade. It looks like as soon as you guys took that trade, this happened right here. So a lot of stuff going on in the market today. Oxford Shannon capacity improved by UK. See, this happened as well. You guys had the vaccine approved right here. There's a lot of stuff that was going on in the UK last night, guys. So I'm sure you guys weren't following the news last night when you guys took that trade. What time was the trade called? Let's see. The trade was called at midnight. So around that time, there was a lot of stuff that was going on that could have affected your guys' position. So usually we just avoid the news when it comes to this stuff, but a lot of these things were like things that couldn't really necessarily be predicted. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else here that could have affected your guys' UK trade last night. Obviously, I didn't take the trade, so I didn't have it. But let me see if there's anything else here. Yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's any other news that could have, possibly affected you guys' trade. But it looks like there was a lot of stuff last night that, I mean, this obviously Brexit deal is number one, the vaccine's number two. There might have been other stuff as well that could have affected it too. Some more Brexit news again. Let's see if there's anything else here. Here's digital banks. So that was another one that I opened right here as well. So this could have affected your guys' trade. I mean, there's a ton of things here, guys. There's like, let's see if there's anything else. So it's 7 o'clock, anything that happened prior to 10 hours ago. So yeah, I mean, that looks like it's pretty much the main thing. So the first news event that could have affected your guys' position was the digital banks news. And then after that, Brexit, Boris was urging the deal. And then actually that looks like that's what affected you guys' trade, guys. So right here at 5 hours ago, which was about the time you guys called the trade, it was urged. So it went from Boris, sending this tweet, kind of like what Trump does sometimes, guys. Like when Trump sends a tweet out that affects the market, this is something that could have affected the market. So Boris sent out this, and then a few hours later, it was passed, right? They agreed on the deal. So that's probably what caused this drop right here. Because obviously you guys took the trade right here. It looks like he urged it. It pushed up a little bit. The deal was passed, and then it dropped. So that's just, looking back to see what affected the market. Because obviously there's something in the market that affected it. Nice. There goes our US 30, guys, about to hit TP1. But yeah, going back to UK 100, guys, there's nothing you guys could have really done to predict that, because the news obviously affected the market. You can see, like I mentioned here, you guys took the trade around midnight, so it pushed up, and then after the deal was passed, it pretty much tanked. So don't worry about it, guys. Take the loss and then move on to the next one. Move on to our US 30 right here, about to hit full TP1. Let's see. All right, so it's looking good so far. Morning, Victor. Oh, Victor made the room. So guys, Victor, this is a Victor that I mentioned in K2 that finally got funded. Congrats to Victor. He got his funded account yesterday, right? Yeah, here we go. So Victor right here got his email from FTMO. He just became a funded member with FTMO, trading with K2. So that looks good right there. See what else we got over here as well. Mario Usman, how's it going? Usman said, thank God I'm not trading this week. Rather wait until after New Year's. I agree. How long do you think it takes to learn before trading? It's really up to you. Some people learn faster than others. Some people learn slower than others. Everyone learns at a different pace. So it's really up to you. If you're a good learner, or if you follow directions, you can learn pretty quickly. If not, and you don't like to listen, then it's probably going to take you a lot longer than a lot of other people. So my dad wants me to take a look at gold. So I'll take a look at gold real quick. So St. Clair, I will take a look at gold for you. Let me see if there's any other questions here. Nilton wants me to take a look at NZD CAD. So Nilton, NZD CAD. I'm going to go down this in order, guys. So I'll give you guys an update as I continue further down. Varun said UK 100 is falling like gold. Yeah, no, definitely. So let's see. John wants me to take a look at gold as well. So I'll be looking at gold for John and St. Clair. So got those two right there. Let's see if there's any other questions here before we start with this. All right, cool. So we got 2 questions right now. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the in the chat, and I can take a look at any pair you guys want me to. So first, I'm going to be looking at gold for John and St. Clair, and then I'm going to be looking at NZD CAD for Nilton. So if you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat, and I'll go ahead and take a look at those. Yeah, but our US 30 here is looking good. So I'm definitely going to keep looking back at that. But meanwhile, I'm going to look at gold first. So looking at gold, let's see if it played out like I mentioned yesterday, because I did analyze gold for you guys yesterday. And yep, played out exactly like I mentioned, guys, right? So I said it was going to come down right here, project off this point, and then shoot up, right? Everything's playing out according to fundamentals because obviously the US dollar is weak, gold is safe haven currency. So with that said, it's going to push up. It might not push up right away, but eventually it's going to continue up further. So I'm going to go ahead and take everything off the chart, and then I'll analyze it from scratch. So I'll zoom out from here, naked chart, turn on my K2SRs, and then I'm going to draw my my zones on the chart for you guys. Yeah, so if you guys have been following, my gold analysis for like the past couple of weeks now, it's literally been playing out exactly how I've been mentioning. I'm thinking if I should probably start trading gold again, because all my analyses for you guys have been playing out perfectly. So I probably could have locked in a lot of profit if I had just traded it myself. The only problem with gold is that it costs a lot to trade with regulated brokers. And I prefer to just trade US 30 anyways, because my I'm just better at trading that. So once I've drawn my zones, I'm going to turn off the K2SR, and then you guys can see here we have some perfectly drawn zones. So you can see right here, price is currently in this area right here. And you can see that the same area was tested back in early December. It was tested back in November, tested back in October, all throughout October into September, and back again in August and July. So you can see this zoned area right here is a pretty strong zone because you guys can see that, price is currently right here. What happens when price generally breaks the structure? It does exactly what I was mentioning, right? If it breaks the structure and closes, it usually pushes up to this structure up here. Going back in history right here, you can see whenever price broke structure, it went straight to that and we tested. Price broke structure, tested the next structure. Price broke structure, tested the next structure. So what do you think is going to happen here when price breaks the structure and closes above it? It's going to go and test the next structure. You guys can go back to all this data here. November, it broke and tested. October, it broke and tested. September, it broke and tested. July, it broke and then it tested, right? So, history always repeats itself, especially for gold. And just all fundamentals are pushing upwards, right? So we're probably, if this closes above, you can probably take a long position from here, write it up to this next structure right there for about 100 pips. And then once it breaks this structure above here, you can take another long position after it breaks out, and then you'll catch that position before it breaks out upwards. And there you go for double profit, one for 120 pips, another one for nearly 300 pips right here. So I do have a bullish bias. What I'm going to do to make that confirmation is I'm going to turn on the momentum indicator. And there we go. See, we have a bullish momentum that's pending right now. If this closes, look what happens when it closes like that. Nice rejection off this structure, rejection off the structure. So you guys can see there, we have a rejection off the structure right here. Trying to fix this thing. That's kind of weird. So let's, so we got that rejection off the structure, buy signal. It breaks structure and test this up here, right? Same situation again right here. We have a rejection off the structure right here. We have the buy signal if it closes. And what's going to happen? Same thing. It's going to push up and test this structure. And then if it breaks the structure, it's probably going to continue up further. So that's pretty much how I analyze this. And if you want to look back at like previous data when this happened as well, it's the same thing, guys, right here. See, price comes down, test the structure, buy signal, test the structure, then it comes back down. Same thing. Test the structure, comes back down. Test the structure, it'll either come back down or it'll break through it and continue up further. It happens all the time, guys. Like again, right here, I could show you how many times it's happened. Tested structure right there. Buy signal right here. And then what happens? It did the same thing I just mentioned. It tested structure. It could either pull back or shoot above it. So rejection, buy signal, bullish movement, rejection, buy signal, bullish movement. And it just repeats itself. And these happen around the same area, right? It's the same exact area. See how price is breaking this structure right here? It broke structure right here. It's going to go test the next structure, and it could either break above it or continue down. And it happens every single time, guys. Again, right here, we have another one. It tests the structure right there, followed by a buy signal, and then there goes the bullish move, right? There's probably a structure up here as well. It's just that I haven't drawn it because price is it's not nearby it, right? So it probably did that, came back down, and it pretty much does the same thing. Break structure again right here. It's literally just a repeating process, guys. If you guys understand how to read charts and you guys have the K2 indicators to give you these actual, important zones, because the problem with a lot of people is they draw zones in everywhere, guys. Like everyone's like, oh, this is a zone, right? Oh, now this is a zone. No, nobody's accurate because everyone's just guessing. For the K2 indicators, it gives you the exact zone, so there's no guesswork. So yeah, I mean, we have these zones lined up here. You guys can see how many times it's played out in the past, and it plays out both directions, guys. It's not just one direction. Like same situation over here. Price came down. It shot up right here, rejected off this point. Sell signal, and then what happens? It breaks the structure and continues down further. There's price structure down here as well. But like I mentioned, price is so far from it that we don't care about structure down here right now. We only care about structure up here. If price comes down here, we'll create new structure. If price breaks up here, we'll create new structure. But looking at gold here, it definitely looks like it's going to be, some sort of bullish move here. Just from what I showed you guys, right? So if it doesn't close above, then it's not going to shoot up. It needs to close above this structure. We need to have that buy signal. If that buy signal doesn't come, then it's not going to shoot up. Because you guys can see from the confirmation here, rejection, buy signal, bullish move, rejection, sell signal, and then it reverses right here because there's that structure. That's why we wait for it to break structure, because if this closed below here, like it did over here, right? So here's an example of what I'm trying to explain right here. So right here, we had a rejection off the zone, right? We have a rejection off the zone. Right here, we have a buy signal, right? What happens from there? It tests the next structure down here. Just like I mentioned, it has to break the structure for the momentum to continue. Again, right here, same situation. Everything just repeats itself, guys. Right here, we have a rejection off this structure. We have a buy signal. And then what happens? Bullish move, right? Right here, we had a rejection, sell signal, but it didn't break the structure, right? It stopped right there. If it broke the structure, it would have came down like it did right here. Same situation right here. We have the rejection. We need the buy signal. And then we also need it to close above here in order for it to push up. If it doesn't close above it, it's probably going to get stopped right here and then possibly swing back down before it goes for another attempt. So you guys got to be patient. You guys got to be smart with your trades, and just don't take any dumb trades, guys. A lot of people just get impatient. Like right here, I gave you guys my analysis, but I bet there's some people that are like, oh, Shawn seems so confident with this trade. They probably entered the buy already. You guys didn't listen to directions, and you guys need to listen to directions, because if you enter a buy too early and you don't wait for confirmation, you're probably going to end up in some drawdown. So be patient, make sure that everything meets, like I just mentioned right here, rejection, sell signal, test the structure, rejection, buy signal, test the structure, breaks through, test the next structure. Same situation over here, rejection, sell signal, did not break the structure, so we wouldn't have taken that trade. And thankfully we didn't, because you would have been in some drawdown right here, right? So be smart with your trades, guys. Don't be too impatient. A lot of people who trade are just too impatient. They can't wait for that perfect entry, and they enter and they end up getting stopped out. So be patient, be smart. And if you guys are new here, if you guys want to learn from me, I still have one-on-one mentorships. You guys just have to make sure to sign up to K2 by today. So today's the 30th. This trial right here is going to expire today, guys, or tomorrow. So it's only $50 for the first month. You have access to all of the K2 indicators. You have access to me for a one-on-one mentorship, and then you have access to all the premium groups, like right here, where I send all of my trades. So that US 30 trade that I took, I have all my parameters right here, and you guys will have access to that. If you guys don't sign up today, this is going to disappear. So, time's ticking, guys, if you guys don't already have it. But you guys can see here that it plays out perfectly. So for gold, I'm anticipating a bullish move. Obviously, for one, all the fundamentals push upwards. But for two, you need to wait for that confirmation. So let's go ahead and take a look at the IG sentiment real quick, and let's see where everyone's trading for gold. So IG sentiment, gold. And I'm sure there's a ton of people that are long right now. That's why they're not making it easy for the heck. I thought we hit TP already. All right, so like right here, there's 80% of people long for gold. So that's why I would be careful with this, because it's probably going to bounce around before it actually hits. Looks like we hit TP2 right here for NZD/USD. So nice work on that, guys. I think I called that already. I think it's just a late signal. Oh yeah, so I called that this morning. I don't know why the signal came late, but yeah, there's our trade right there, NZD/USD, that I called last night. Hit TP2 for 25 pips. So if you guys are still in that trade, I'd probably recommend moving your stop loss and profit, because we just don't know how the market's going to be moving from now until the next couple of days with the holidays coming up. So I'd be careful with gold here as well, guys. Even though I'm mentioning a buy, because obviously it's clear that it's going to go up. The problem is there's too many people that are in a buy already. There's 80% of people are long for the gold market. So what's going to happen here is the market makers and institutions aren't going to make that easy. They're probably going to spike price down slightly. So if this doesn't close above here, they're going to spike price down, stop people out. Because where's your stop loss at, guys? Most of you guys will have your stop loss at a max 100 pips, right? Even less. You guys will probably have it around here, 50 pips, maybe 60 pips, because you guys are just not wanting to take that risk. So if you guys have your stop loss that tight, probably what's going to happen here, if you guys enter a long position, you'll have your stop loss kind of tight right here. They'll spike price down, stop you out, and then they'll swing it right back up, right? That always happens. So I personally wouldn't trade gold right now. I would wait until these people get shooken out. They're going to shake these people out. These 80% of people long, they're going to spike price at some point. What I see happening is they're probably going to spike price down, like maybe to here, maybe to here, to stop all these people out, because everyone has a buy position, right? But not everyone has an account to handle this position. So I'm sure there's a bunch of people that are over leveraging gold, because that's always what happens. And this is what blows a lot of people's accounts. People are probably over leveraging gold right now. They're going to spike price down, stop them out, and then they're going to spike price right back up. And they'll probably do it 2 or 3 times. They'll do that. They'll spike it down again, stop everyone out again. And then once this number drops, so it's about 80%, once it drops closer to like maybe 70, below 70, around 60 something percent, then they'll push price where it's supposed to go, because they want to make money off all these people right here, like all these suckers that are in a long position, because everyone's thinking it's going to go up, which, eventually it'll probably go up, but they're trying to shake out all the people that don't know what they're doing. A lot of the new traders, a lot of the signal copiers who put their stop loss too tight. That's why I have a wide stop loss, guys, because I understand how the market moves, right? That's why people always complain why I have a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. But look at my account and look at your guys' account, who think that 1 to 3 is the only way to trade. You guys probably are not even profitable, because you guys keep getting stopped out every time, because you get caught in these traps. So, there's nothing wrong with a 1 to 3 risk forward. There's nothing wrong with a 1-to-1 risk forward. As long as your strategy works, then it's good. But for most people, they just try to copy what everyone else is doing. They think 1 to 3 or 1 to 4 is the only way to do it. And, most of those people aren't profitable at trading. So there's people that are profitable, but they do it properly. For a lot of people out there, they're not doing it properly. So just make sure you guys know what you're doing. It doesn't matter if it's a 1-to-1 risk, a 1 to 4 risk, 1 to 3 risk. As long as you know what you're doing and you actually understand how the market moves, then it's perfectly fine. But if you guys don't, and you guys keep getting stopped out, maybe it's time for a change. So just keep that in mind, guys. Let me go ahead and take a look at the next question over here. Let me scan through here and see what's going on. Spencer said waiting for NJ to make it through resistance. So I'll take a look at NJ as well, Spencer. So we looked at gold right there. It's obviously going to be a long-term bullish bias for gold because of the stimulus, but I think currently they're going to mess around with you guys before they actually make it to that point. So be careful with it. Don't get too eagerly with that position. All right, so Spencer, NZDJPY. Let's see if there's anything else here. Nice. Varun said US 30 is back at entry. Nice. Peter said nothing more fire than K2. Definitely 100%. Hey, morning, Walter. Hope said, please don't forget to like the channel. So yeah, guys, just another reminder. I do this for free every single day, guys. Like every morning I go on live with you guys and I'm here for like 3-4 hours a day where I give you guys free analysis, free advice, free pretty much everything. And the only thing that I ask for you guys to do is to just at least like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That way we can grow the channel. Otherwise, I won't be continuing this. This is my first couple of weeks where I'm just trying this out to see if this actually works and if people actually like coming here. And it seems like it's been pretty good. So I'm here giving out free advice, giving out my trade ideas, showing you guys how I trade exactly. And if you guys can just, like and subscribe to the channel, that'll help the channel grow and it'll help with the YouTube algorithm. That way I can continue to give you guys these free sessions every single day. So if you guys haven't already, just go ahead and like the video, and this that will definitely help with growing the channel further. So let's continue and see what else we got over here. Hashbrown said buy your USD. So let me take a look at your USD as well. I mean, obviously, yeah, it's going to be a buy, Hashbrown, because like I mentioned, the US dollar is weak because they're printing for the stimulus. So I'll take a look at it as well. I do think it's going to be a buy, obviously, because of the fundamentals, but we'll see how it plays out. Yeah, I was mentioning earlier, we had like the GU earlier, which pushed up to full TP for like 70 pips. And then same with EU. All of the AUD pairs are all going to be bullish. So like AUD USD bullish, Euro USD bullish, GU bullish, NZD USD bullish, USD CAD bearish, USD CHF bearish, UJ bearish as well. So yeah, the US dollar is just going to be weak because they're going to start printing the US dollars soon to start giving out the stimulus. So UK imposes tougher restrictions. So it looks like there's a lot of UK news today, guys. So this like all these things that happened for the UK news obviously affected your UK 100 trade, guys. So just looking back at what could have affected your guys' position, there's a ton of stuff here with UK news that affects it, pretty directly. So let's keep that in mind. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at these other questions over here and see what else is going on. So US 30 is back in profit right now. And it was so close to TP1 right here, but it ended up swinging back. It's fine. I'm not going to watch it. I'm just going to let it play out, but it's currently in profit. So if you guys are in the trade, looks good so far for the most part. Otherwise, we will continue. Varun's asking if US dollar is weak, why are taking bullish trade on US 30? Varun, do you understand how the fundamentals work? US 30 doesn't mirror the US dollar, so that's why we could trade this however momentum moves. But just because US, so here's the thing, when people get their stimulus, where are they likely going to put their money? They're going to put their money in the stock market, right? Or they're going to buy products or something that's going to push the stock market up. They're going to have money for consumer products. They're going to go shopping. They're going to do stuff with their money, which is going to help the stocks that are within the US 30 index. So that's why it's going up, Varun. You probably have to take a deeper look into correlations or like how pairs correlate, but the US dollar doesn't necessarily directly correlate the US 30 index. Because US dollar is weak doesn't mean that the stock market needs to go down, right? Because the thing is, when we print stimulus, they're giving the US people money. So if they're giving people money, they're spending that money on these companies, right? They're going on flights, they're going to the mall, they're going to the grocery store. They have money to spend on these companies. So that's why it's going up. It doesn't necessarily didn't necessarily directly correlate. It doesn't mean the US dollar is strong and then US 30 has to go up. It doesn't mean US dollar is weak, US 30 has to go down. They don't directly correlate, but using common sense and basic fundamentals of how things work, if the US dollar is weak, I mean, there's a lot of factors. So I'm not trying to, because I feel like I might be confusing you with regard to how I'm explaining it, but there's a lot of factors that will factor in, and they don't necessarily directly correlate every single time whenever something happens. So just keep that in mind. You might want to just do your own. Yeah, exactly, Varun. Exactly. So yeah, Varun said this will help their internal economy, right? Yeah, basically, if people in the US are getting money, they're going to spend money on things that are directly correlated with the stock market, right? Well, not the stock market, but the specific stocks. So it helps the economy, as a whole, but it doesn't help the US dollar because the economy could be good even though the US dollar is weak. I mean, not good, but it could be better than, it's not going to be a failing economy just because they're printing dollars. It just weakens the value of the US dollar, but it helps stimulate the economy. That's why it's called a stimulus, because the economy is not doing so well. So they shoot stimulus into the economy and the economy starts to revive. So yeah, basically what you mentioned there, it does help. It does help with the economy as a whole. So yeah, US 30 is looking good right here. And the thing with our US 30 trades is that we're not holding it long term. For Forex trades, we might hold them for hours, maybe days. For US 30, we usually get out within the first couple hours. So we just try to catch that momentum swing upwards, hit our TP, move our stop loss and profit, and then we catch it to either full TP or we get stopped out in profit. So just keep that in mind when you're analyzing these specific pairs. Let me go ahead and here and take a look again. David said, I'm ready to get this 4-day weekend started. Nice. Dennis said, EU still in some pullback here and there. Definitely, Dennis. It was like I mentioned before, they're not going to make it that easy for people to just buy all of these USD pairs and then just make money. They're going to spike price around to shake people out. Okay, so let me keep going down right here. Velocity said, I know you just analyzed gold, but can you analyze it on the 1-day time frame to connect the highs with the trend lines from August 6th to 9th, and tell me if you think it'll be problematic for your analysis. Here, let me go check real quick. Velocity. I'll go back to gold because we just looked at that. So my analysis is a bullish bias, right? Let me go ahead and take a look at this on the daily you're mentioning, and then I'll go ahead and redraw my zone. So you guys saw me analyze it on the 4-hour, right? I can do the same thing on the daily as well. You don't have to be on the specific time frame. You can literally analyze this however you guys like. With regard to if you guys are analyzing it on the shorter time frame, the higher time frame doesn't really matter. Okay, let me fix this right here. So I'm gonna just say this here before I analyze it. I don't think it's gonna affect the my analysis at all, velocity, because either way, the US dollar is gonna be weak because they're printing stimulus. So it's gonna be bullish whether we're on the daily time frame or whether we're on the 4-hour. But analyzing it from your perspective over here, I'm gonna go ahead and zoom back out, and then you guys can see here that we have some perfectly drawn zones, right? Using the K2SR indicator. We have a bullish move here, consolidation, bullish move up, then reversal from this point up here. So price started to reverse from this point and now it's heading down, rejected off the structure, and looks like it's pulling right back up into some consolidation before it ends up shooting upwards. Because like I mentioned, it doesn't matter if we're on the daily, the 1-hour, or 4-hour, the US dollar is going to be weak regardless. So, and it's going to be weak for the next probably couple months or so. So I still see it being a bullish move from there. So with Velocity's question right here, said August 6th to November 9th. The thing with gold, guys, is it's more news driven. It's kind of similar indices. So let me see. You said from August 7 up until, or you said August 6. So let's go from here, August 6 up until November 9th. Yeah, no, I don't think this is going to be a problem at all. But the thing with this is, if you guys look at gold, the fundamentals didn't really follow through at the beginning of COVID, right? So when COVID happened here in was it March? So when COVID first happened, right here in March, when it, well, not when it first happened, but when we started going to lockdowns, fundamentals were indicating that gold was supposed to go up, right? So this is what I mean about price being manipulated, because the thing is, everyone knew price was going to go up at this point because everything was shutting down, right? If everything's shutting down, the US dollar is not going to be strong. The gold was supposed to go straight up from this point. But the thing is, everyone thought that gold was going to go up. Okay, US 30 hit TP1, guys. So we hit TP1 on US 30. Like I mentioned, if you guys want to move your stop loss and profit, I highly suggest it, because we don't know how the market's moving. But there we go. Hit TP1 right there. I'm gonna hold on to it for a little bit, but then I'm going to eventually move my stop loss and profit slightly. So 30. Let me see, my entry was 67. So I'm gonna move my stop loss and profit slightly, not too close, but just enough around TP1, just in case, because the market is just, we're getting close to the new year. So here's our US 30 position. It's pushing up pretty nicely. It looks like it's gonna push up to TP2 over here for 750 pips. But if you guys want to, I move my stop loss slightly in profit just to eliminate risk. Now I have all the upside, right? If it pulls back, I get stopped out in profit. If it shoots up, I go for a full TP. So there we go, TP1. Let me just post this in the group real quick before I continue. So I'm just gonna change this a little bit. So there we go. All right, we got TP1 right there. Send that over there. And you guys saw that trade. I called it live for you guys. So if you guys are here and you guys took the trade with me, congrats. Made some money off that trade as usual. But yeah, looks good. All right, so going back to gold over here. Like I was mentioning, velocity, gold was supposed to go up when everything started shutting down, right? Because everything started shutting down. It made no sense for the dollar to be strong. However, it shot way down here because, like I mentioned, they're not going to make it that easy, because the problem is everyone was long gold. Like it was like 90% of people were long in March. So they're not just going to push price up to let people make money, right? The banks and institutions are going to push price down. They're going to sell off so that they can buy at a discount. So they sold off right here. They drove price way down and they stopped everyone out. So everyone who's trying to buy gold lost a ton of money right here from March 9th until March 19th. And then once the banks made their money, what did? They did exactly what was supposed to happen. They pushed it all the way up. So same situation right here. We're printing dollars again, but it's not going to be as drastic as COVID, because they're just printing money. The US dollar is just being weak, but stuff isn't like necessarily shutting down just yet. So I think this will probably push up a little bit. It'll probably just go sideways, honestly. It'll go sideways for a bit, but I think eventually they might even push it down a little bit. But I think eventually you'll see this shoot up within the next month or so, right? It might not happen tomorrow. It might not happen next week. It might not happen the week after, but eventually it's going to shoot up. So just keep that in mind, especially if you're looking on the daily chart, because this is going to be like the first month of January. It'll probably go sideways for a bit. They'll probably dump it. And then in February, they'll probably skyrocket it up. So you guys got to make sure not to get caught in this manipulation. That's why I don't trade gold, because it's highly manipulated. Everyone knows that it's going to go up. It's common knowledge that it's going to go up because the US dollar is going to be weak. but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to move up that way. You know, the banks can sell off their positions again, because if you think about it, they sold off their position here. They just bought again right here, and they stimulated gold to push it back up. So they pushed it back up, let it go sideways, push it back up. And then people get suckered in right here because they think it's going to keep going up right here from August, but then it comes down. It comes down. People right here think that price is going to go up again. So what are they going to do? They're going to sell off their positions, go back to this point, maybe have it go sideways. And then once all these people have gone shaken out of the market, they're likely going to spike it all the way up. So I personally don't trade gold. It's just too risky. So just be careful if you guys are trading gold, because it's highly manipulated. You'll probably see what goes on from this point. But yeah, let me see what else is going on over here. Fuck, I think I might have gotten kicked out of this trade. Put my stop loss too tight. Oh no, fuck me. Okay, I got kicked out of the trade at like $200. So it's cool. I got kicked out of a US 30, guys. I'm out, unfortunately. Looks like, I mean, I made decent profit. I made profit, so it's not a bad thing. But let me wait, what the hell? Oh, that's weird. No. Yeah. Oh, because it spiked down. That's why. Dude, why does it happen? Okay, no, that's fine. Price spiked down. It looks like it didn't take these trades on my personal account. It took it on my FTMOs, where I made a decent profit. Here, I'll just post a profit right now on the page so you guys can see what happened with my positions over here. So let me see. I don't know what does it happen with my my profits are like way different. So let me just post this up on the Telegram real quick, and I'll show you guys how much I made off these trades. 240. All right. Varun's asking if I'll re-enter. I'm probably not going to re-enter, guys. So I made this. I have 3 FTMO accounts at 100K. So you guys, if you guys have been here for a while, you guys know that I trade 3 FTMO accounts at 100K. So I have one here where I made 240, one right here that I made 228, one here I made about 200. So I made about 600, 700 off this trade right here. All 3 combined, which is not bad. And I'm probably not going to re-enter Varun, because just of how the way the market's moving. Like I mentioned, you guys got to remember to at least adjust your stop loss when you guys can, and eliminate risk, because you never know when this is going to come back down, especially with the holiday coming up soon. Got kicked. The US 30 position profit save as the holiday approaches. Profits. Yep. You guys gotta remember that tomorrow is New Year's, guys. So volatility is going to start dying down. You don't want to hold this trade into the new year. It's just too risky. You might see some spikes when price reopens, but it's fine. I mean, I'm out of the trade. Profit. So let me just update this real quick. And guys, people always ask me if they should use the exit strategy. Guys, if I didn't think you should use the exit strategy, I wouldn't warn you guys in every single signal, right? Right here it says, remember to use K2 exit strategy to eliminate risk when possible. I say this for every single trade. So if you guys don't follow this, I mean, it's on you. You guys can take the risk. You guys don't have to follow it, but I'm already giving you guys a warning here. So if you guys ask me if you guys should move your stop loss, my answer is always going to be the same. So just a reminder to you guys, for a lot of people that like to ask that question when it's, it's pretty obvious, that I do recommend it. Key over here said she's doing her F2 for her mom, but if she fails it, it's on her. Let me go ahead and send this over real quick to the other groups. All right, let me send this over here as well. So yeah, if you guys are still in the trade, you guys are fine because it's still moving. It's just that nice. Look at Cheryl over here. She started her third challenge, so she's going on her 300K as well, just like me. She had extra days. She got all that stuff. So yeah, she took the trades that I called NZD USD. She took that loss on UK 100. Small loss, guys. This is what I mean about proper risk management. If you don't over leverage, you can still make the money back on the next trade. So she made profit off my NU trade I called earlier. She lost UK 100, but then she made even more profit for the US 30 trade that I just called. So she's overall in profit $722. So she's doing real good. So looks good from that point. Let's see. All right, so this looks good here. If you guys are sending me questions on Telegram, I'm not going to respond to them just yet. So you guys will just have to wait for me to get to that. I'm focused on the live session right now. So let me check this out right here. US 30, I think US 30 is definitely going to push up further, guys. But me being safe, because it is a holiday week, I got out of the trade. So it's up to you guys if you guys want to re-enter. But me personally, obviously I'm going to hold off on it for now. I'll probably go on the shorter time frame, like maybe the 5 minute, maybe even the 1 minute actually. No. So I'll look on the 5 minute. If I find an entry over here, then maybe I'll make a re-entry. But like I mentioned, it's a risky time. It's not a time to take like these unnecessary risks with how the market's moving. So let me go ahead and see what's going on over here. Yeah, G Money said or B Money said GU is monthly on the bullish. Yeah, definitely. I think it's going to keep pushing up as well. B Money, because the thing with that is that it is going to it's funny when I get these messages right here. There's always someone that wants to complain about something, right? It doesn't matter if we're hitting TP or if we're hitting stop loss. There's always somebody that wants to complain. And if you're one of those people, then trading is probably not for you because you're just not built for trading. If you're complaining about every single thing, if you complain that we hit TP1, but I got out at the TP1, then trading is just not for you guys. It's just funny because I have a bunch of these DMs. Right? You can see my Telegram is like blowing up. I got like 14 messages right now. People are complaining that we hit stop loss for UK 100. Then they get complain that we hit TP for US 30. And then it's just like, oh man. Let me see what I got here in the chat. A bar. But yeah, no, I'm saying like I get a lot of questions where people want to complain that we hit stop loss for UK 100. But if you look at the profits here, if you guys follow proper risk, look at Cheryl over here. She lost UK 100. She lost $97, but she took US 30 and she made it all back, right? So the thing is, if you use proper risk and you know what you're doing, or you actually listen to what I'm telling you, you should be in profit at the end of the week. There's no excuse for you guys not to be in profit if you guys follow directions. There's a lot of people that don't follow directions and they just look for someone or something to blame for anything that goes wrong in life, right? They lose their job, they want to blame it on their boss. They fail out of school, they blame it on their teacher. They fail at trading, they blame it on K2. If those type of people, like, they'll never learn because they don't want to take responsibility for their mistakes. Like, obviously, if you guys make a mistake, just take responsibility for it. Don't go and look for something or someone to blame, because you're never going to get any better. And that's just something, that's just life. You know, it's just how it works. But let me see over here. Yeah, my DMs are just blowing up like crazy right now. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at that later. And I'm going to continue with the chat here, guys. But yeah, you know, just like a word of advice, guys, if you guys don't take responsibility for your wins and for your losses, then you're never going to get any better, because that's the only way you guys will learn. You know, if you guys don't learn from your mistakes, you're just going to keep making the same mistakes, and then you're just going to keep looking for something or someone to blame for your mistakes. And it's easier to just take responsibility for it and get better, rather than look for something to complain about, whether it goes in your direction or whether it doesn't. So let me continue and see what else we've got over here in the chat before I continue with what we're doing over here. All right, so we got one question over here from Toon. He wants me to take a look at USD CAD. Varun's asking, will you re-enter? Probably not, Varun. If I see an entry point, then yeah, maybe I will, but most likely not. Not going to hit that. First of all, I said Shawn's like, yeah, I made 200 bucks. Varun said, why is your copy trader slow? All copy traders are delayed at some point, Varun. It's not always going to be spot on. So that's why I never recommend copy traders. And why is there so much difference in profits? Varun, it's not that much of a difference. Looking at my profits here, it's only off by like a few bucks, you know. It's 240, 228, 200. It's not really off by that much. That you can tell which one's delayed because it goes from 240 and it just goes down by like 20 bucks each. It's not really that much of a difference. So, and you guys can see the lot size is a little different as well. It depends on how fast price moves. So if price is moving too fast, you guys can't have like exact execution times, right? The master account has to make the execution time, and the other accounts will follow. So if price is moving like 100 pips per second, it's going to have a little difference, but it's not that big of a difference. It's like slight, like 20 bucks. And that's just the price you have to pay if you want to use a copier. Let me see what else we got over here. Yeah, David said it's never going to be exact because it reacts to the master account. Exactly. Okay, so John wants me to take a look at oil. So let's see, John, US oil. Let's see if there's anything else over here that we need to look at real quick. Renko said looking for shorts on the Dow. Nice, Renko. Renko, didn't you call a short the last time and it went up? Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. I mean, it'd be better if you could give an analysis, Renko, not just, you know, call it short. Because I know you did that last time and it did the complete opposite. So I mean, if you have an analysis, it's better if you like give the analysis so we can actually see what you're looking at or what your thought process is. Because if you're just speculating and you think it's going to drop just because it's at a certain price point, I don't think that's a good enough analysis. You have to at least, you know, have some reasoning behind your call if you think it's going to come down. So maybe if you could send a chart, that would help. Because I know you did this last time and it didn't play out. Or actually, that'd probably be a good thing for us. Because if you say the opposite and it plays the opposite, then we would we'd rather want it to go up anyways. But yeah, definitely. If you think it's going to short, I mean, I'd like to see your analysis just to see, you know, how it goes against ours. But yeah, I mean, and anyone can say short. Anyone can say it's going to drop and it doesn't drop, or they can say it drops and it drops. But it just really depends on, you know, how you analyzed it. And just a reminder, guys, there's no right or wrong way to trade. If you guys have a strategy, you guys have a way to analyze things, it can work. There's no one way to trade. It's like playing chess. You know, if I'm trading one way, you can be playing another way. And it doesn't mean that both ways are right or wrong. It just depends on how the market reacts to your analysis. So we have another question over here. Velocity said, just so you know, Shawn, you can have multiple FTMOs if you have other emails, hints. And Kenny said they'll ban you if they catch you. Yeah, Varun said, Velocity, take your ID and other stuff. It's legal instead of having an account on your family member's name. Yeah, Varun's right. You have to give actual information, Velocity. I don't know if you've ever been funded before, but if you have, they take your information. So you necessarily can't. I mean, technically, they'll probably work a deal with you if you want to have multiple accounts, but you can't just do that because they take your information. Last thing you want to do is go through the whole process of getting funded for another separate account, and then they end up like taking your account away because you violated their terms and conditions. Peter said, Velocity, you can have an extra 3 accounts for a total of 600K if you put the extra 3 accounts under your, yeah, exactly. If you do it under someone else. Sisuk said he's on the 1 minute. Of course, if you guys have seen Sisuk's profits, he's been killing it with. So here are the profits for the week, guys. I haven't given you guys the updates. I'm not the only one here making profits. Cheryl here made 700. Lisa here made 118. Victor passed FTMO. Ed over here made about 2,500 yesterday trading US 30. Sisuk over here, he made 700 and he made about $800 trading US 30. And he's been scalping. So you can see here, he's been scalping like literally all day, every day. And then Ibras over here locked in about $300 off there. Sisuk made some more scalps. Tam over here locked in about 300, 400. Jalicia over here passed her FTMO. Congrats. So there we go, Jalicia, she made that. Hamisi over here passes FTMO. So we had about 1, 2, 3, 4, I think about 5 people pass FTMO this week, and it's been a slow week. So you guys can see the power of K2 here, that everyone here is passing. Josh over here passed as well. So that makes 5 people in K2 passing FTMO this week. Nice, he made profit off that US 30. Nice. So yeah, everyone here is killing it. Tam over here killed it again for another $400. Ed again right here for about 1,000. Akeem over here locked in about a couple $100 off XRP. Sisuk scalping every day. Aleph over here locked in about 400 off that UK 100 on the 24th. And Tam again over here with some more profit. So everyone in K2 is making profit, guys. It's been great so far for everyone. So let's continue it. Let me see what else is going on over here. Let me see if there's anything else that I missed over here. So we have Gene Vaughn's asking if we can do one-on-one. Gene Vaughn, I'm fully booked for the week. So message me your availability next week, and then we can schedule your one-on-one if you still want one. But I'm fully booked for this week. I don't have any slots available. John's asking TP1, TP2, TP3. Oh, for oil. Okay, so I haven't analyzed oil yet, but I'll go ahead and take a look and see. Velocity said, didn't someone say FTMO actually increases your monthly amount if you make 10%? I don't think necessarily. I don't think necessarily, Velocity, that they'll increase it just because you've gained by 10%. You have to leave money in the account. So say if you make profit, then say if you make profit off your FTMO and you leave money in there for the following month, if you consistently leave money and grow your account, then they'll increase your monthly loss. So you have to leave 20K in the account, right? Or 100K in the account for it to become even higher so that they can increase your monthly loss. Let's see. HGF said, I think I've actually learned your whole trading strategy in about 20 minutes. Nice. Vishnu said, morning, Shawn and K2 fam. How do I book a one-on-one session? So Vishnu, just message me on Telegram. Send me your availability for next week, because this whole week has been fully booked. I have mentoring sessions all day today and all day tomorrow. So I'm fully booked for this week. But if you want to schedule for next week, I'm pretty open. So just send me the day and time that you want to have your one-on-one mentoring session with me, and we can set it up. It's just got to be about between 2 p.m. and 9 p.m. because I'm doing this live session in the morning, so I can't have that one-on-one with you during this time, but I can do it in the afternoon. So just between 2 p.m. and 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, just send me your availability for next week, and we can set up your session. Let's see if there's anything else over here. Nice. So B Money got his US 30 buys at 32.85. 30. Damn, you made some bank off that, huh, B Money? So B Money hopped in from like way down here, 32.85. Damn, yeah. So B Money is in profit. Man, he's in profit, some heavy profit right here. He's in profit about 2,000 pips, 2,300 pips right now. So that's looking good, B Money. So that was a nice entry point. Hey, Shawn, do you trade options? Merce, but I don't trade options anymore. I used to trade options like maybe like 8 years ago. I stopped trading options a long time ago. Renko said, because I'm a real trader. And David said, let's see your TV chart, real trader. Yeah, let's see. All right, let me keep going down over here real quick. Varun's asking, what's your strategy for scalping? I usually use the pivot strategy. I'm not sure what CSUK uses. I know he uses a little bit of a combination of his own strategy plus everything else as well. If you want to make money, go scalp gold on the lower time frame. Walter said, isolate XRP the last few days. Yeah, definitely, Walter. I saw your profits look pretty good. Renko said, large sales page, 181 per month. Holy crap, brother crapper. Wait, what? All right, I don't understand what Renko is talking about. But yeah, Renko, I mean, I guess if you're a real trader, then we'll see what happens with US 30. So we'll see how it plays out from here. I'll just leave this on the chart so that we can come back to it, make sure I didn't delete it. And then we'll see how this plays out. Sisu said, I've learned to only pick a handful and focus on US 30 has been my main focus. Use K2 indicators. I tried a ton of others before K2. They didn't work for me for scalping. A ton of blown accounts, definitely. Yeah, Sisu said, if you follow the K2 strategy with scalping, it's 10x, definitely. Sisu said, I use the pivots and the new strategy along with the time frames from 4 hour down to the 1 minute. Nice, nice. All right, awesome. So that's some good input by everyone. Thanks for interacting in the chat. So let me go ahead and take a look at these pairs now. So for Nilton, he wants NZD CAD. Spencer wants NZD JPY. Hash Brown wants Euro USD buy. Toon wants USD CAD, and John wants US oil. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at all those right now, and then we will continue on with this analysis. So the first pair is NZD CAD. We got NZD CAD right here. I already have my zones marked up, but I'm going to go ahead and redraw these for you guys, delete everything off the chart, turn on this SR right here. And then let's go ahead and draw these zones real quick. There we go. So that looks good right there. US 30 is looking great right now, guys. Looks very bullish. We'll see how it plays out. And this plays out exactly with what I mentioned. I've been mentioning for the past couple of weeks, guys. At the end of the year, it's always a bullish move. So I personally wouldn't really short US 30 right now, because if you look at every week towards the end of the year, you know, this year right here from November to December, it's bullish. Last year, November to December, it's bullish. 2018, November to December, it's bullish. 2017, November to December, it's bullish. 16, bullish. 15, it's bullish. So that's why I think it's going to be bullish, guys. So we'll see how it plays out. But other than that, we'll go back to NZD CAD. I've marked up the zones here. I'm going to hide the K2SR, zoom out from this point, and there you go. So you can see price started pushing up from this point. So from here, established a low, high, low, higher, higher low, and then now it's way up here. So looking at NZD CAD over here, we should look for the higher zones. We don't have zones currently above here. So I'm going to go on the 8-hour, pull some higher zones to see where the possible rejection points are for NZD CAD. Here on the daily, nothing there. The weekly is way up here. All right, so let's go back to the 4-hour right here. Looks like the next zones are pretty far out. So I'm going to turn on the K2 momentum indicator. Right here, this is where the entry would have been made. It would have been right here. You know, obviously we missed the entry right here. The reason for this entry is because we would have confirmed the break-in close past K2SR level right here. We confirmed the bullish momentum right here. So with those two requirements met, we would have entered a long position over here. Unfortunately, we didn't enter it. This is on the 29th yesterday. I'm not sure why I didn't enter it. Let me see. It happened at about 6 a.m. yesterday. I think the market just looked iffy yesterday, so we didn't enter it. But NZD CAD does look like it's bullish. This is the current active position for NZD CAD. It hasn't played out completely yet, but it's on the way to full TP. It's already halfway to full TP and nearly there. So this is it for NZD CAD right here. Have a bullish momentum. Reason for that's because, or have a bullish bias because the previous signal was a bullish candle. So you generally, like I mentioned, when it's followed by a bullish candle like this, it usually has a strong bullish move. So another confirmation for that as well is you can see price consolidated right here, had a bullish move upwards, retracement from this point, came back to here. And then like I've been explaining, we've had a nice rejection off the K2SR level right here. So we have this nice little rejection point. And then this rejection point was followed by a buy signal right here. So rejection, buy signal, bullish move, and then it's going to continue up to this next structure up here. So it's probably going to hit full TP. It's probably going to test this structure. And by the time it tests this structure, it'll probably either reject off it or break above it right here. So looks good right there. So there we go with NZD CAD. And that's kind of what I see happening right here. I still see it as a bullish momentum for NZD CAD. And I definitely think it's going to continue up because obviously you can see here every time that happens, it does the same thing what I just discussed earlier, right? When I was analyzing gold, you know, we have a rejection off the K2SR level. It's followed by a bullish signal. And then what does it do? It tests the next structure, right? Test the next structure, rejection, buy, sell signal, test the structure, rejection, buy signal, test the next structure, rejection, sell signal, it tests the next structure. So you guys can see here that basically this stuff right here just pretty much bounces from structure to structure, right? So same situation here, rejection off this structure, buy signal, it's possibly going to push up further because it broke this structure. And now the next ceiling is not until way up here. So that's what I see happening with NZD CAD. Let's go ahead and move to the next pair. So that's it for NZD CAD right there. Let me go through the chat real quick. I'll see if there's anything else that was discussed since then. Yeah, Velocity said XRP is getting delisted. I wouldn't recommend holding it at all. Yeah, everyone said you should not be trading XRP right now. Exactly, I agree. Yeah, they removed XRP from a lot of different brokers because they're in the middle of a lawsuit right now. Morning, Josh. How's it going, bro? Ruin said no one will buy. Exactly. Nobody will mess with that right there. Let's see. So you guys have some side chats over here going on. It's cool. I'm just gonna respond to the stuff that that refers to me. So HGF is asking how you're predicting that it'll be bullish or bearish at the end there from the previous movements. It's from the buy signal HGF. So these vertical lines detect the momentum swings in the market. So obviously we have a rejection buy signal. It pushes to the next structure. Rejection sell signal pushes to the next structure. It pretty much just bounces from structure to structure. Yeah, it's pretty much it from there. So let me Okay, so we have one question from Varun. I'm going to go over this real quick before we continue on to the next pair. So I'm done with NZD CAD. The next one is NZD JPY for Spencer. And right now, let's see. Oh, we have some other people. I'll respond to these messages later. So a lot of people said K2 is legit and we should expand to like other countries. Yeah, no, definitely, guys. Like, you know, K2 is still brand new and I'm still here to teach you guys. It's just, I'm just too busy. You know, I'm busy trading my own account. Like I make more of my profits from trading my own accounts because I do FTMO plus I have my personal accounts. So I just have my hands tied. But yeah, no, definitely we'll probably be expanding to like other areas at some point. I know we're already like, you know, slowly expanding into UK with like the London guys calling the UK signals and stuff like that. So we'll see how it goes from there. But let me go ahead and answer. Yeah, John, we have your question for oil, but we have like 3 other pairs before you. So we still have to analyze those before we get to your oil analysis. So we'll get to that in a bit. Let me see what else we got over here. Nice. Hey, Felix, how's it going, bro? I'm gonna show Varun how the K2 pivots indicator works. Let me just open a brand new chart over here. Testing. So I'll just use this for example over here. I'm gonna delete all this stuff. I'm gonna go and hide this. So basically the way that the K2 pivots indicator works is when price is above the 4 pivots, it's going to indicate an uptrend, right? So if price is above the pivots are spread out and they're all angling in the same direction, that's going to indicate a strong uptrend, right? Because you can see here price comes up and then you see some retracement. And then as soon as it swings back up and they spread out again and they're angling, it's a strong uptrend, right? So instead of having to draw these trend lines, you can just look at the pivots here. And then you can see exactly how strong the trend is. Then when price swings below it, so obviously if price is above, that's trending up. If price is below, it's trending down. You can see right here as price crosses below, the pivots start to angle downwards and they spread out. It turns into a strong downtrend. So one way to use the K2 pivots is to use it for identifying the trend for that specific time frame. That's one way to use it. Another way to use it is for scalping. You could use it because these pivots, you know, obviously if you know how pivots work, whenever price reaches the pivot, it rejects off it. So you can see right here, price comes up, it tests the pivot, and then it swings back up, right? Price comes up, retraces back down, tests the pivot, and then what happens after that? It swings right back up. And it just keeps doing that over and over again. Price comes down, tests the pivot, swings up. Comes down, tests the pivot, swings back up. Once price crosses the pivot, and then it can do one of two things. It can either reverse or it can swing right back up. So right here, you can see it's just a retracement, right? It's a little consolidation. It's a pullback downwards. But over here, you can see the difference from when it crosses it over here because the pivots actually angle downwards and they spread out. So when that happens, it switches to a downtrend, right? So obviously right here, it's going down and then it swings back up, back into an uptrend. So those are the 2 main ways to use the pivots. For one, it's to identify the trend. So depending if you're on the 10-minute, you can see the trend, right? It's a strong trend up. It doesn't matter if you're on the 1 hour, you see the price, it's above the pivots, they're spread out and they're angling. That's going to indicate a trend upwards. If you're on the 4 hour, same thing. It doesn't make a difference whether it's on the 4 hour, the 1 hour, the 10-minute, the daily, it still works, right? So price is above the pivots, it's angling up. Like price is above the pivots, they're spread out, they're angling, it's trending up. Price swings below, it's below the pivots are angling down and they're spread out, it's trending down. So that's one way to do it. And then like I mentioned, when price reaches the pivots, you can use that as a reversal point. So price comes up, tests the pivot, swings right back up. Comes up, tests the pivots, swings right back up. So those are the 2 main ways to use the pivots. And then if you turn on the momentum indicator, you got a whole strategy right there. Price comes down, retraces, buy signal, long position right there, locking about 600 pips. Same situation again right here. Price comes down, buy signal, and you get those perfect sniper entries right there, right? So easy as that. You can use it on any time frame. Doesn't need to be the daily, the 4 hour, the 1 hour, doesn't matter. 10-minute, same thing. Works on every single time frame on any asset. If you're trading NASDAQ, it works on there. GJ, it works on there. Gold, it works on there. It works on everything. Bitcoin works on there. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter what you want to trade. If you have something you want to trade, it works on pretty much any asset. So let's look at US 30 right here. Renko said he was starting to short the Dow. It looks like it's pretty bullish to me, Renko. So I mean, we'll see how this plays out. I mean, you haven't sent your analysis yet, so I don't know what you're looking at when you think it's a sell, but it looks pretty bullish to me. And I'm not trying to downplay your analysis, bro. I want to see what your analysis is, because you said you're a real trader and it's going bearish, but I think it's still pushing up. But we'll see how that plays out. I mean, if you can send your chart, Renko, that definitely help, so we can see what you're looking at. But if you're just making calls and saying that you're a real trader, it doesn't really, I mean, there's nothing here that's really indicating that it's going to be bearish, right? Like for one, it's in a bullish uptrend. For two, like I mentioned, historical data at the end of the year, it's always bullish. Yeah, I mean, well, good luck to you, Renko. I mean, I'm not trying to provoke you. I want to see what your analysis is for a sell. So we'll see. I mean, we're on opposite ends. So obviously I'm going to push for a buy. You're going to push for a sell. So we'll see how it plays out. Let me see how everything else is going over here. All right, so I got this right over here. David. No, we'll see how this plays out. It doesn't matter. There's analysis for both directions, guys. Like, you don't have to trade in one direction, but obviously we have a bullish bias over here. So we'll see how this plays out, and then let's hope that it hits full TP over here, and then we'll see how it plays. But yeah, Nelson, hopefully that helps with your NZD CAD. I still think it's going to be a bullish bias, and I think it's going to push up to the next structure up here. And hopefully that helps with your question too, Varun. If it answers, your question to the pivots. So there's two ways of using it, but there's a lot of different ways to use it as well if you want to use it for a specific strategy. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at NZD/JPY right now for Spencer. So Spencer wants NZD/JPY. I'm going to delete all of these right here, take this off the chart, zoom out from this point, turn the K2SRs, and let's get to these zones. All right, so let me draw this lower zone down here. All right, we got that right there. And then we need an upper zone as well. So we don't have an upper zone right now. In order to do that, we're gonna go on the higher time frames. The 8-hour, nothing there. The daily, nothing there. Go on the weekly, and there we go. So same with NZD CAD. Spencer, I think it's going to be bullish, it looks like. So let me go back to the 4-hour. So we did break the structure right here. I'm going to turn on the momentum indicator. I'm assuming we have a bullish momentum right here. So yeah, same situation with NZD CAD. The actual entry was right over here. Long position from right here. So it's technically still active. So for NZD/JPY, it broke structure. It looks like it's preparing for that bullish move right there. And odds are it's going to eventually reach this structure up here. It might not happen within the next couple of days, the next week, because we do have New Year's coming up tomorrow. But it's eventually probably going to come up there. It might come up a little bit, maybe go sideways for a bit, and swing back up, hit TP, maybe pull back a little bit like it normally does, go sideways, and then eventually shoot up to the next structure, right? So basically, this is what I see for NZD/JPY. Obviously, it has a bullish bias. And if you took this trade from this entry right here, you would have been in profit currently about 30 pips. So it's still looking good. I still think it's going to be bullish. It looks like the NZD is actually pretty strong overall for a lot of other pairs. So looking at NZD/JPY, NZD CAD bullish, NZD CHF bullish, NZD JPY bullish, NZD USD bullish. So the NZD is a strong currency right now. It's strong against all of the other currencies across the board. So I definitely see it swinging up from that point. Thankfully, our NZD/USD will probably hit full TP. And yeah, pretty much everything else as well. So it does look good. And I do see this continuing up further. So looks good. Spencer, if you're in that buy, and then we'll see what you have been discussing right there. So let me see. Spencer said, I sent it to you to check it out. I'm in already. Nice, Spencer. Okay, perfect. Awesome. So if you're in that trade, looks like you're in some nice profit already currently. So congrats for that entry. Looks like you're going to be making some nice profit off that trade. Going back to US 30, it looks pretty bullish. Looks like it's about to hit TP2 over here for about 750 pips. But we'll see how that plays out. You know, like I mentioned, we're entering the New Year's holiday, guys. So volatility is going to start to die down soon as people pull out for the holiday. I mean, a lot of people have probably pulled out already, but I mean, we'll see how this plays out. Okay, so let me keep checking this out over here. See if there's anything else that is going on. Reiko stayed just a few points then down. I mean, it looks pretty bullish to me. So, I mean, we'll see how it plays out, guys. You know, everyone has their own opinion. It doesn't really bother me because I know what I'm doing. And if you have your own opinion, hopefully you know what you're doing too, because then it shouldn't sway you from your opinion. If you think it's going to go up, then it's going to go up. If you think it's going to go down, then it'll go down. It's just really up to you know, your analysis on that. But it looks like it's pushing up pretty nicely. So hopefully this hits full TP. You know, we need this. It's been a rocky week for indices with the holidays and stuff, but we should be good. So let me go ahead and take a look over here and see if there's anything else. Sure, no problem, Varun. Varun said NZD/JPY should pull back because volatility dies down and RSI is at overbought. So Varun, for RSI, you know, I'm going back to what Dave was mentioning. There's no, there really is no such thing as overbought or oversold for Forex, because the difference with Forex and other assets is that there's no limited quantity, right? If the currency is strong, it's just going to keep pushing up. There's nothing that's going to stop it from being overbought because it's being paired with one currency to another currency. If you're trading something that has limited quantity, like say indices, you know, because there's only so much stock that can be bought before it becomes overbought, or it can be so much stock that's sold before it becomes oversold, you know, similar to normal stocks, similar to gold, and similar to other assets like oil, like commodities that have limited quantities. The problem with using those specific indicators that are meant for limited quantity assets like stocks and commodities and futures is that they're not paired with anything. So if you wanted to use an oversold indicator, you could use it for like the index. So say if I wanted to use it for Forex, right? Then I would use it for like the dollar index, because there's a limited quantity for how much, you know, how much a dollar can be worth, right? Like for the DXY over here, we're printing US dollars. So this is going to go down, right? It's crashing down heavily. This is the worth of the US dollar. Right now, it's only worth like 89 bucks, you know, per index share. So for using certain indicators like the MACD, the RSI, the stochastics, those are okay indicators if you use them for other things, like to determine the trend. But if you're looking for oversold and overbought, it doesn't necessarily work very well. Like if I was to add the RSI to here, you can see that it actually works pretty well. Like when it's overbought, it comes back down, right? It's oversold, it comes up, right? If you use this for something like we were talking about NZD/JPY, look how it's overbought right here. Did it ever come down from that point? Like if I go and I mark this right here, and I'm just trying to show you an example, you know, I'm trying to show you why it doesn't work with Forex pairs. So like right here, you can see that it was overbought, right? Or right here, yeah, it was overbought right here. Did it ever come down from being overbought? No, it just kept shooting up all the way to the moon, right? So same situation over here. It's been overbought. It never came down. So it was overbought again right here. And I'm just trying to show you because a lot of people mix these up. You know, I've been trading for a long time. I started trading stocks, so I understand how these indicators work. Like right here, it was overbought again, right? Overbought. Did it ever come down? No, it kept shooting up. Same situation over here. Overbought. it just went sideways and never came down, and then it shot up even further. So that's something to keep in mind when you're using these indicators. These indicators don't transfer from stocks to Forex. It just depends on how you apply them, because a lot of people are confused. They think that these work exactly the same with Forex pairs, but they don't, because there's no limited quantity here. Like the NZD can be strong for as long as it needs to, as long as the JPY is weak. It'll just continue to push up further and further. But yeah, it's just a quick lesson for you guys with regard to indicators, because a lot of people don't really understand how these indicators work. And they don't necessarily cross between, indices to Forex to stocks to normal indexes and stuff like that. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about that, I can go more deeper into that, because I know people love RSI, people love MACD, people love stochastic, but they don't all work the same way for Forex. Just to keep you guys informed with how it works necessarily. So let me see what else we've got over here. Velocity side, I've been seeing more and more people use RSI to trade recently. I've really only known RSI for divergence trading. So it can work for divergence trading, velocity, but it doesn't work for like overbought, oversold. And that's what a lot of people use it for, So yeah, there goes your little history lesson right there for like the RSI indicator. All right, let me go back to these pairs over here. So we looked at NZD JPY. Next one is going to be Euro USD for hash brown. I'm going to pull that over real quick. Yeah, US 30 is still looking good so far, still pushing up. So we'll continue to watch that. Let's go to Euro USD real quick, and then we'll hopefully get to John's his oil soon. I know he's been chilling for a while, waiting for that. Let me go and take all this stuff off right here. So looking at Euro USD, we have naked chart. I'm going to turn on the K2SR indicator to draw my zones. All right, so we got zones down here. I'm just going to draw some messy zones down here, guys, because price is so far from this area where it's not really necessary to really be very on point. Like for these right here, I'll just connect big zones because price is so far away that it's probably not going to come down at any point for us to really have to pay attention to those specific zones. So there we go right there with that. And then we got this. And then now we just got to look at the higher time frame to get these upper zones. Let's go on the daily real quick. Nothing there. Go on the weekly. Wow. Looks like Euro USD is like in an area where it hasn't been in since 2018, guys. So Euro USD hasn't been at this point since 2018. That's a long time. In 2 years, it hasn't been at this price point. So it's a bit risky to trade right now because it looks like it's at the monthly resistance, guys. So here's the monthly resistance. Like I mentioned, this price hasn't been in this area since April 2018, more so into 2017, because it just pulled up and then it shot right back down. So looking at it right here, I'm going to go and turn off this indicator. Looking at Euro USD right here, hash brown, it does. Obviously it's going to be a bullish. It's going to be a bullish bias because the US dollar is going to be weak with the stimulus going on, and we do have a bullish signal right here where it broke structure. But I personally wouldn't take Euro USD until it breaks this structure up here, because it might go through some retracement before it ends up breaking through. It could break right through, but it can also swing back down from that point as well. So there's a couple scenarios here that can play out. It can either reject off here, come back down and retest the structure, or it can continue up and possibly break this structure right here. So I personally wouldn't enter a buy right now because I don't want to be caught in any drawdown. I'd rather wait for it to break above here for that confirmation and then take a long position from here. So I think you might already be in that trade, hash brown. If possible, I would move your stop loss and profit to prevent any reversal that might happen right here. Obviously, I think it's going to have a bullish bias because the US dollar is weak. However, like I mentioned, it's at a monthly resistance right now. So it hasn't broken this resistance since 2018. So keep that in mind that, you know, if this has been tested a bunch of times and it hasn't been able to break it since 2018, then odds are, you know, it's probably gonna have some difficulty breaking through here as well, unless it has some boost of momentum or volatility, which just swings it right up, which could happen. I mean, it happens sometimes where the problem is a lot of people probably see this right here. So there's an issue here because, for one, let me look at the sentiment. A lot of people are bullish because they know that the US dollar is weak. However, there's a lot of other traders as well who have identified this as the monthly resistance, right? So we have a bunch of people that are anticipating it to shoot up. We have a bunch of people that are anticipating this to drop down. So there might be a, you know, a split among who's long and who's short. See right here, 67% of people are short. So since more people are short, it seems like a lot of people have identified this as a monthly resistance, right? So what I see happening here is I probably see it pulling back a little bit, slightly. And I don't think it's going to pull back all the way down here, but it's probably going to pull back slightly. And I think eventually it's going to stop all these people out and shoot it way up because the US dollar is going to be weak. And, you know, a lot of people here are looking at the technicals. They're looking at this monthly resistance right here. But since more people are short, the banks aren't going to let these people win. Obviously, you know, they're going to make more money if they make these people lose. So what's going to happen here is they'll probably spike price down and then they'll probably shoot price up to stop all of them out, right? Because where are people going to put their stop loss at, right? It's going to be right here. They enter a short position, they put their stop loss outside the structure right here. So that's probably what's going to happen. They're going to give people some confidence right here, bring price down a little bit. And then when you least expect it, they're going to shoot it up, stop people out, and then probably bring it back down a little bit so that people will hop back in. So they're going to trick people to hop back in right here after it stopped them out. And then people will re-enter sells again right here. And then their stop loss is going to be a little bit higher, like maybe up to here, because they're like, oh, I got stopped out because price is being manipulated. So price will probably come here. It'll probably drop a little bit. And then it'll stop them out again to shake out all of these people right here, the 67% of people that are short. So you can see how the number is increasing. It was like at 65 earlier, now 66, now 67, because people are starting to catch on that this is the monthly resistance. So you have to, you have to analyze this like you're playing chess. You have to understand where other people are thinking, and you have to do the opposite of them. Because if you're trading how everyone else is trading, you're just going to fail like, a majority of people who end up, following like a sheep. So that's pretty much it for Euro USD. I think it's going to have a bullish move, but I don't think it's going to be a smooth move. It's going to be a bit rocky before it ends up, coming down or going up from that point. So that's it for there. Let me see if there's anything else here that we're looking at before I move on to the next one. So we went over Euro USD. We have one more for tune for Euro USD CAD. Well, let me go down the chat real quick and I'll see if there's anything here that I missed. So Varun's asking, can we enter NJ considering 30-minute time frame plus trend meter and signal? So let me go back to NJ real quick because I did analyze that just now. Let's see. Yeah, you could, Varun, because it does fall within the requirements. I mean, the entry probably would have been over here. So this would probably be a late entry. But obviously it's probably going to play out eventually. But the problem with holding this is you're probably going to be holding it for a while, because I think we're probably going to be done with trading at some point today. Let me go ahead and check real quick and see what is going on over here. So let me see if there's anything else that. All right, cool. I'm just checking the chats, guys. So my Telegram's like blowing up right now. I got like 20 messages and I got 5 texts that I have to get to. But yeah, Varun, if you want to enter this for a buy, if this closes, you have to wait for that signal to close though. If it doesn't close and there's no entry, but once it does close, you can take that using that strategy right there. So you've got about 28 minutes left on that candle. Let's go over to the next one here. All right, so Josh got that set up right there with David. Thanks for helping with that. And just a reminder, guys, if you guys haven't already, if you guys can, just like the stream just to help with the YouTube algorithm. That way you can continue to grow this channel and I can continue to hop on here and give you guys advice for free pretty much every day. Because obviously, coming on this live session takes a lot of time out of my day, guys. And I'm doing this, just to help you guys out. So as long as this channel grows, I'll continue to go live for you guys. But if it doesn't grow, then I'm probably just going to have this. I'm going to limit this to a few days a week, or I'm probably going to just have this for the premium members, because obviously this takes way too much time out of my day. And I could be making a lot of money just trading, like scalping on my own. So if you guys want me to continue doing this, just like the video, help grow the channel, and then we'll continue to do this daily. So thanks for that, guys. And let me get back to these questions. So we have another one right here from Larishna is asking, what's your take on the alligator indicator? So I've never used the alligator indicator, Larishna, so I can't really give my opinion on that. I've heard of it a lot recently. I saw a lot of people start using it recently, but I personally haven't used it, so I'm not sure how does it work necessarily. So I can't really give my opinion on it without me actually like learning how to use it and understanding how it works. So sorry about that. Let's see. Anything over here? Gene Vaughn, can you look at UK signal? We'll take a look at that after Gene Vaughn. Let me see. Gene Vaughn. So what do you mean by the UK signal? Do you mean like the signal that just appeared using the indicator, or are you talking about the signal that was sent last night? I just want to make sure what you want me to look at before I take a look at it. So if you can be a little more detailed, I can take a look at it. But I added you to the list. So right now I have USD CAD for Toon, and then I have US Soil for John. So I'm going to look at USD CAD real quick, and then we'll move on to the next one. So let's go to USD CAD real quick. And obviously this is going to be bearish because the US dollar is weak. Going back to US 30. I still think it's bullish. It's just having a retracement. It's been establishing higher highs since yesterday, I think, right? So yeah, so we had a low here, high right here, higher low, higher high, higher low, and it's just continuing on further. So we'll see how this plays out, but we still have the trade running. So we'll have that played out there, and then we will go ahead and take a look at USD CAD over here right now. So let me go ahead and delete this stuff. Pull back from here. So here we have a naked chart. I'm going to turn on the K2SR indicator, and then I'm going to draw my zones out here. These lower zones right here. And then this one down here. All right, so we got all our zones drawn out right here. I'm gonna go ahead and close that. Zoom out from this point. Looks like it's had a pretty bearish move since I think since COVID started. So yeah, since March over here, it's just been dropping like crazy because the US dollar has been weak. On top of that, we have the stimulus coming out soon. I'll turn the momentum indicator. We do have a bearish momentum right here. So this would have been the entry right here if you took this where we had price break structure and then we had the bearish momentum. It would have hit full TP for about 53 pips right there. So the next entry for this tune would be if price closes below the structure. So if this closes below here, then you can probably take another short position right there and then write it down to that point, or write it down to the next structure right here, possibly move your stop loss and profit to prevent any reversal. But at that point, it can either reverse from there or it can break through and continue further down. My guess it's going to continue further down because the US dollar is going to be weak once they start printing for the stimulus. And yeah, it looks good from that point. So looking at US 30, looks like it's coming back up. So yeah, precision is on point, Renko. Precision is on point for a bullish move. Just messing with you. Let me see what else we got over here. But yeah, so that's pretty much what I see for USD CAD soon. USD CAD, I see a bearish move because yeah, pretty much momentum's coming down. We just gotta wait for that confirmation. I think the best time would be to wait for it to close below here, because you don't want to get caught when it's like messing around right here, right? You probably would want to, or let's see how many pips you can cash from this point. I mean, you catch a little scalp there for maybe like 10, 20 pips, but I think down here, this is where you have that little free fall. If you catch it from here, it'll probably drop even further. So you can take a little scalp right there if that closes below that candle, which is in about an hour 20. And then we'll see how that goes from there. So that's USD CAD. John said, what do you think of Ichimoku? So Ichimoku was one of my, it still is one of my favorite indicators. I don't use it anymore, but it is definitely one of my favorite indicators right there. So looking at, Franco City gave us a spot on what? I don't know what you mean by that, Ranko, because I looked at your previous messages. I don't see anything where you mentioned anything about 3520. But Ranko said I gave you a spot on 3520. I mean, you said it was going to be bearish from right here, bro, and it's pushed up quite a bit since when you said it was going to short from this point. So, I mean, we'll see. You know, I'm not knocking your analysis. You just haven't shared a chart yet, so I'm not sure what you're even looking at. You just keep throwing out these these things, but I'm not sure what you're mentioning. But yeah, I mean, we'll see how it plays, Renko. You know, we'll see if it goes up, we'll see if it goes down. So there's no right or wrong thing here. All right, so we looked at USD CAD. Let me take a look at so John was mentioning about Ichimoku. So Ichimoku used to be one of my favorite indicators. I mean, it still is one of my all-time favorites. I actually use Ichimoku for a long time. The way that you would use Ichimoku is, and you know, it's funny, there's a lot of people out there that try to teach Ichimoku, but they teach it like so many other ways. Ichimoku actually works very good with the K2 indicators. The K2 trend meter is actually based off the Ichimoku cloud. So if you guys followed my strategy, I created this indicator off the Ichimoku cloud. The difference with the Ichimoku cloud here is that it only takes into account one time frame, right? For the trend meter right here, I take into account 4 time frames. So Ichimoku can only identify one time frame for the cloud. I can identify 4 time frames. So that's how I created the trend meter down here. But yeah, looking at the Ichimoku over here, there's a lot of different ways to apply it. So like one way to apply it is you can just cloud, which is like this right here. You can use it to identify the direction of trend. Trend is either above it. If price is above it, price is trending up. Price is below it, price is trending down. So that's one way to use it. Another way to use Ichimoku is that you can use it where hey guys, can you guys hear me? I think I might be back. Man, I don't know what's going on with the internet this week, guys. I don't know if it's because of the weather or whatever's been going on, but I keep getting disconnected. So I think I'm back. All right, perfect. So you guys see me here. I was confused. I was like talking for a cool second, and then it just ended up disconnecting on me. So I'll go back to what I was just explaining here earlier, guys. So Ichimoku, you can use the cloud to identify the trend. You can also use the conversion line and the baseline. Whenever it crosses, like if the blue crosses above the other one, you can catch a buy entry like right here. So that's one way of applying it, like right there, and it works. You know, it works pretty nicely. You know, again, right here, price crosses above it, and then you can take, you know, another long position right there, and it does work. It's just that you have to factor in other things as well. So that's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it is you can use the lagging span as well. So this is the actual way of applying this, because if you want to use all the requirements, this would be the way to do it. But you can see here that it gets kind of messy, right? So when there's no clear trend, it gets messy right here, and then you can get caught in a lot of fake outs. But for example, if you have a nice strong trend like this right here, and I replay this at this point where price crosses it, you can catch some pretty decent entries off here. But you know, just like every other indicator, the Ichimoku is not 100%. You have to use other factors when determining how and when to apply it. But for me, Ichimoku is definitely one of my very favorite indicators. If you like to use it, I recommend you continue using it. But you know, obviously for me, I've evolved from Ichimoku to the K2 indicators, which have been way more profitable for me in the long run. Because like you guys can see right here, like prices below the cloud, you have the cross right here. It went straight into reversal, right? So you don't want to get caught in these trades. You need some other confirmation in order for you to really use this properly. So let me go back to US 30. US 30 looks pretty bullish to me. So it's pushing up. Let's go hit that TP over here, and then we'll see how it moves forward from there. So just going back to there. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question, and hopefully that helps with your with Ichimoku, John. But yeah, Ichimoku is definitely one of my very favorite indicators. There's a lot of ways to apply it, but keep in mind that I've seen a lot of people teach Ichimoku, and I've been using Ichimoku for a long time, so I actually know how to use it. I see a lot of people using it improperly, so be careful from like who you learn it from, because a lot of people think that, I mean, there's a lot of different variations. There's not just one way of applying it, but you can use it for like breakouts as well. Like you can see price breaks within the structure right here. But I think the way that it works best is with the K2 indicator. So if I go in, because you saw that there was a lot of fake outs, right, with the conversion and baseline. So if you just use the cloud and use the K2 indicator, look how much profit you can make off this. You see it's a buy signal, it's above the cloud, full TP, 100 pips. Buy signal above the cloud right here, full TP, 100 pips. Buy signal above the cloud right here, full TP, another 100 pips. So you guys see how much stronger it is when you tie it with a K2 indicator. It's like straight TPs. It's like a money printer. And that's how the intraday strategy works. So if you guys want to use this strategy, the trend meter down here is actually what we use for it. And it gives you like way more accurate trades. So this is how I would use the Ichimoku cloud with the K2 indicators, because it works very, very well. If you want to use it on the 15-minute, like you just mentioned, you know, like right here, or where was I looking at? Yeah, like for all these positions, basically, like right here, you see prices below the cloud. You take that sell signal, full TP, right? Sell signal right here, full TP. Sell signal right here, full TP. Sell signal right there, full TP. You guys have to use the, like you guys have to find the secret, like right here, sell signal, full TP. This is an invalid signal. We wouldn't have taken it. But yeah, it just goes to show here that you can use this with pretty much anything. Like the K2 indicators go well with anything else that you guys like to use. Another thing that we were going over when I was talking to Varun, if you guys sat in on me on Varun's session, you guys can see here that, like, you know, he likes to use the RSI, right? So if you use the RSI on like US 30 and you use it with the K2 indicator, which works very well. So if you use it with the K2 indicator right here, and we turn off this, so say we turn off the Ichimoku, and for Varun, he likes to use the RSI. So he used the RSI right here. And then you can see here that whenever it's like, if it's like oversold, like right here, it's, overbought, and then it's followed by a sell signal. So overbought right here, sell signal, it goes straight to full TP down there, right? Same situation like right here. Or was I looking at? Yeah, like right here. So right here it goes to oversold. So it's been oversold since this point, oversold, 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 followed by a buy signal right here. You can ride this to full TP. So the thing with these K2 indicators is you don't have to use the K2 strategies. You guys can use any strategy you want. And then you can use it on anything that you already currently apply and just make it better. So the thing with Varun, he likes to use, you know, the K2 momentum indicator with RSI, and you guys can see here that works very well. So it just really depends on what you guys want to use it on. You guys don't have to use my strategies. You guys can just use the indicators for your own strategies, and it helps identify these sniper entries for you. So let me go ahead and take a look at everything over here. And let's see if there's anything that we've missed. Okay, so I've gone over that right there. Let me see if there's anything else that we've looked at. So let me see if I missed anything again. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, Jamal, I'll take a look at that later or shortly. I still see a UK 100 question there. See if there's anything else that I'm missing. Min just mentioned that NJ is breaking through. So let me see. Oh yeah, broke right through, guys. I don't know what happened to my zones. I had my zones drawn out earlier. Let's draw them up again real quick. Yeah, so looking at NJ right here, it looks pretty decent. All right, that's good. So yeah, looking at NJ right here, I think the next structure is like super high. I think my zones got deleted when I got disconnected from YouTube. All right, so there we go right there with that. Go back on the 4 hour, hide this. So yeah, it's breaking out of that structure right there pretty nicely, just like we analyzed earlier during the session. So let me keep going over here. Nice. So Walter said, I still use the trend meter, Ichimoku's boss, 100%. Velocity said, if you're on the 4 hour, then you shouldn't need the trend meter, correct? Velocity, you could use it if you want to find the trend on the higher time frames, but if you're using it on a specific asset like Forex that doesn't necessarily trend long term, then it's kind of irrelevant. You might as well just use the pivots to identify the trend for that specific time frame. So I think that's it for that. Let me go ahead and take a look at, I think we're finally at US oil, John. I know John's been waiting a long time for this. So let me go ahead and take a look at US oil right here. It looks like it's still in the same zones that I drew yesterday, but I'll do this from scratch again so you guys can see exactly how I identified, you know, these little structures. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete this stuff. Turn on the K2SR. And then let's go ahead and analyze this for John. He's been waiting like hours for this, I think. We've been on this webinar for about 2 hours, 3 hours now. And he asked this at the very beginning. So let's go ahead and take a look really quick. Pull this over here. All right, so we good with that right there. Good at that. I guess I could just draw these right here separate. So that's cool. All right, so it looks like it's oil is just consolidating right now within those two structures. So I'm gonna hide that after I've drawn my structures. And you guys can see that oil's had a bullish move since November 1st, or actually since April. So since it dropped in April when the barrel price went to zero, it's just been bullish ever since. Damn, I feel like I should have bought that and held on to it when this happened. When it was at zero, it was only one way for it to go, obviously. But yeah, the real trend started again right here at November 1st. So from here, it's just been establishing higher highs, right? So it's been established a low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high, low. And it's just been going up and up and up. So currently right here, it's in consolidation. You guys can see how it's moved here. It's moved up. It basically goes in waves, right? It moves up, consolidates, moves up, consolidates, moves up, consolidates. It just does the same thing over and over again, guys. Moves up, consolidates. So right here, it's in consolidation, right? I'm going to turn on the K2 momentum indicator. The most recent signal was a buy signal, right? So I'm gonna delete this right here. And what happens when you get that buy signal after it rejects off the point, just like I was identifying earlier? So we have the rejection off the K2SR right here. It's followed by a buy signal. And then what happens? It pushes up to the next structure, right? So it goes from this point, pushes up to this structure right here, rejects off it. The only way I would take a buy for this is if it closes above here. So I want to wait for this to close above this structure right here so that it can continue its wave. Like I mentioned right here, bullish move, consolidation, bullish move, consolidation, bullish move, consolidation, bullish move, consolidation, right? It's consolidating. So until we have that bullish move above here, I wouldn't take a buy because this can easily reverse from this point right here because we do have a double top right here. You guys can see this. Let me just go ahead and delete these right here. You know, looking at current price right here, it's had a double top. Right there. Or I mean, this whole area right here is double top basically right here. A double top off this structure, right? So this could be setting up for a drop downwards. So that's why I wouldn't enter a buy yet until it closes above here. Or if it closes below here, then you could take a sell. You know, for the most part right here, we have a bullish bias, obviously, because the previous signal is a buy signal. But obviously you can see right here, when you had this rejection off here, followed by a sell signal, it pushed down to this next structure down here. So if we get a sell signal right here and it closes below this structure, what's probably going to happen? It's probably going to come down, test this structure right here, and then we'll have a rejection from here and possibly a second rejection right here where it can either shoot right back up or continue down further, right? There's a lot of scenarios here that can play out with gold. So we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. I would still have the bullish bias until it closes above here. But you know, I wouldn't enter it until it closes above here because then it'll confirm that it's going to be pushing for that bullish move above. So until that happens, I would just sit tight because there's just a lot going on from there. Deswell's asking how's US 30 looking. Still looks the same. It hasn't really moved. It's just consolidating right now, but it still looks like it's going to have a bullish move from that point. See if there's any structure that's around here. Yeah, so it's just consolidating right now within these 2 points. It's not really moving at all. So if I draw this right here, we have this upper zone right here where it rejected. And then we have this lower zone right here as well. Or no, sorry, right here. Smaller rejection point from right there. So it's just consolidating right now within these two zones. Once it breaks the structure, then it'll probably continue up further. So that's basically what I see happening there, Deswell. But yeah, John, this is pretty much what I see for oil right here. No problem. But yeah, John, definitely wait for it to close above here, which would be 49.29, or wait for it to close below here, which would be 47.17. Yeah, 47.17. So looks good from there. But I would wait for it to close either above or below. And if it closes below, we need that sell signal like this in order for it to push down. But until then, I would probably just wait until it breaks out of this little zone right here. Let's see. Renko said you have the wrong chart. Dow Industrial is a different chart. It's the same thing, Renko. I mean, Renko, I thought you were a real trader, bro. Like if you look at the US 30 on here, and I'll show you the other US 30. I mean, I'm not trying to like, look, it doesn't matter. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, same thing. I don't know what else US 30 do you want. US 30 CFD, it's the same thing. Like there's really no difference here. The only difference here is because I have the structure drawn, but it's doing the same exact thing. I don't know whichever US 30 you want to look at. Awanda, it's the same thing. So, all right, Ranko, whatever you say, bro. Yeah, we use the data for currency.com, but it's the same. Okay, if you say so, Ranko. Talking nonsense. All right, so I'm not gonna bother looking at US 30 because it's still within these zones. So let's see if there's any other questions. We had one more here for Gene Vaughn's UK 100 question. So let me go ahead and delete this, or I'll leave this up right here. We can look back at it tomorrow or maybe the time after and see how it plays out. But let me go ahead and take a look at UK 100. So looking at UK 100 right here, I'm gonna go ahead and draw my zones. Right, I just find it really funny. I just find it funny, guys. So we're at UK 100. It's just, I feel like there's a lot of stuff going on in the chat room today. That just cracks me up. But okay, so we'll go ahead and take a look over here and analyze US 30. I mean, not US 30, UK 100 right here. So I'm just going to draw my zones here real quick so you guys can see what I am looking at here. All right, looks good. Looks good. All right. So looking at UK 100 right here, I mean, there was a lot of stuff that was going on in the news. So I don't know when did you get in the chat, Gene Vaughn, but I looked at the news earlier, and there's a lot of, I personally wouldn't trade UK 100 right now because there's a lot of stuff that's going on that's individually affecting the asset. Like right here, it's dropping, but there's a ton of news that happened for the UK overnight. So they approved the Brexit trade deal. The COVID vaccine was approved by UK regulators. There was this news right here as well for the Europe's digital banks. And then we had the UK impose tougher restrictions as their COVID stuff goes up higher. So looking at this right here, yeah, looking at all this news here for the UK 100, there's obviously, you know, something that's affecting the UK assets, right? UK 100 right here. But yeah, other than that, it looks like David said, don't worry about me. Renko saying you'd be up by 30 points by now. Yeah, Renko, but that's the reason why we give two signals, bro. Like, have you been like not following it this whole time? Dude, there's two signals here with the price difference because we have one for regular, we have one for FTMO. So, David said, let's see your chart instead of calling random buys and sells. And it's all right, guys. You know, I do like that everyone has different opinions, but if you're going to give an opinion, like show us what your opinion means. Like you guys can't just call it sells and buys, but then not actually explain yourself and just keep, you know, egging people on to ask for that analysis. If you would give an analysis. Okay, Ranko. You trade your own charts, but you don't want to share your chart. So you obviously don't have a sell analysis. I mean, it's fine, Erica. I don't care. You know, you could keep calling sells if you want, but I'm gonna keep calling buys, and then we'll see how it plays out. But we've already hit CP for US 30, and I'm out of the trade, so I'm fine. But our US 30 is still in profit, so it's fine. It's fine with me. I mean, you can call any trade you want, Renko, but until you actually provide a chart where we can see what you're looking at, then there's nothing to discuss really, because you're just going to keep saying sell, 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 right? But you have no analysis behind you, like analyzing a sell, which is fine. I mean, it's cool, but it's like, you don't expect anyone to really follow what you're saying unless you have, at least, you say you're a real trader, but you don't want to share your charts. If you would share your charts, then people would believe you, but I don't know. It's fine. It doesn't bother me at all that you have an opposite call, because we're still going to be following our analysis until it ends up pushing out. So looking at UK 100 right here, it looks like it's in a bearish bias right now because we have the sell signal, right? So it looks like it's probably going to come down and test this structure right here. But I don't know how this will play out, because the problem with UK 100 right here is that we have all of this news. So this news could just be a temporary push downwards. And then, you know, at some point it can easily just recover back up. So Geneva, I'm not sure how you wanted me to analyze this, because we're not trading it right now. I'm not sure what you wanted me to look at, but I personally wouldn't trade UK 100 right now because there's a lot of news going on with regard to the UK, which would affect that specific asset. So when there's a lot of news going on like this, I personally would not want to trade it, because it will cause a lot of, you know, manipulation in price. Like price can easily continue to drop farther, or it can easily spike up at any point, because it's all news driven right now. It's not necessarily based on any technicals. It's basically just it's just going whichever direction it already is going. So right now momentum's swinging down, right? So it's going down, but at this point it could easily swing up at any point in time. So just keep that in mind with a UK 100. But I recommend you don't trade it right now, because you don't want to get caught in a sell. Like say you enter a sell here because you're trying to chase this this move, right? So it looks like it's going to come down. So you enter a sell, you have your stop loss somewhere around here. What will probably happen is it'll come down a little bit, and then it'll shoot right back up to stop you out. And then vice versa, if you're entering a buy right here because you think it's going to reject off this point, something like this, you might see something like this where it comes down, rejects off this point, and then comes crashing down further. So until there's more confirmation, I wouldn't take this trade. But with all the news going on for the UK, I personally wouldn't trade UK 100 right now, because there's just a lot of room for manipulation that can appear at any point. So I'd be careful with this right now. I would just trade something else, or just not trade at all, because we do have New Year's coming up tomorrow, New Year's Eve. So people are going to be pulling out of the market today, and then volatility is going to die down pretty heavily by Asia session tonight as markets start to close for the holiday. Velocity mentioned, wait, I think the stream froze before you answered. Have you ever used Fibonacci or no? No, Velocity, I don't use Fibonacci. I personally don't like to use subjective tools. So the thing with Fibonacci is like it's very easy to misplace it, right? So I personally don't like using it. Like for Fibonacci, if you're trying to draw this from where price currently is, so like you have the high right here, and then if you identify this as the low, you know, say if you were if you were analyzing it from this point. So say if I replayed to this point, you probably would have considered this like the low, right? But as price moves, it adjusts as well. So price goes lower, your new low could be right there. So the thing with this is I don't like subjective indicators, because there's room for mistake, right? I prefer to use stuff that that is accurate, that's objective. So like for the K2 indicators right here, these vertical lines, once they close, they don't disappear. So you can back test it to understand how it moves properly. And there's no guesswork. Same with the zones right here. Like these zones, once they're placed on the chart, they're pretty much just there. So if you're trading this like that, then, you know, it takes the guesswork out of your analysis. It pretty much just puts all the plots on the chart for you, and then you're able to follow it from that specific data point. Fibonacci, it's subjective, like I mentioned, so that's why I don't like to use it, because I feel like a lot of people place it in the wrong places. Some people are really good with it, so if you're really good with it, then continue to use it. But I personally don't use it like that, because I just don't want to get caught in any bad trades, you know, due to incorrectly plotting the Fibonacci. So I personally don't use it. But if you want to use it, if you're good with it, then so be it. But if you guys use the pivots indicator, this is like it's kind of similar to a what do you call this? Like a dynamic Fibonacci. So this is something that a lot of people have mentioned to me before, where if you line up the Fibonacci from here to here, you can see that the pivots line up with the Fibonacci lines, right? So it just really depends on how you use it. I would prefer to use the pivots than the Fibonacci because it's dynamic. It moves the price rather than you having to, draw your Fibonacci's every single time price moves. So that's one way to use it, velocity. So if you, I'm sure you've used the K2 pivots before. I'm sure you've noticed that before as well. But I think that pivots would be a lot more accurate with drawing those little pivot points. So I think that's it for that question. Let me go ahead and go on to the next one, which is for gold. So we analyzed gold earlier, so I'm not going to redraw the lines for that, Nilton, but I'll just pull it up for you anyways, because we were analyzing that earlier this morning. So I'll go on the 4-hour chart over here, go over here to gold. And yeah, looking at gold here. So when I was analyzing gold earlier, I indicated that it would have a bullish bias, right? The reason for that bullish bias is because US dollar is going to be weak once they start printing US dollars for the stimulus that was just passed. So with that said, US dollar is going to be weak and this should continue to push on upwards. On top of that, gold is a safe haven currency, like a lot of you guys know. So it moves opposite of the US dollar. If the US dollar is weak, it's going to go up. If COVID's happening, gold goes up as well. The only problem with this gold right here is that the sentiment is going to identify that there's 80% of people are long, right? So the thing is, you don't want to trade where everybody's trading because it's going to cause manipulation in the market. If there's so many people long right here, do you think the banks are going to push price up further? Probably not. They're probably going to spike price down to stop all those people out because they want to shake all these people out before they push it upwards, right? So for me right here, although I have an overall bullish bias, it's gonna have a long way to go before it actually pushes up. So it's probably going to have some consolidation for maybe the rest of the week. And then it'll probably drop a little bit to spike people out because people who are entering their long positions right here, their stop loss is probably going to be somewhere around here, right? So they're going to stop people out right there. And then they'll probably shoot price right back up. And then as they shoot price back up and people re-enter for a buy, their stop loss will probably be even lower down here, right? So they'll probably spike price down again, stop people out one more time before skyrocketing it all the way up. So keep that in mind, guys. If you guys are looking at gold, you guys have to take a lot of factors into consideration. Like obviously it's clear that gold is going to go up. It's going to go up eventually, but it might not go up tomorrow. It might not go up next week. It might not go up next month. It might just go sideways for a bit before it shoots up because what the banks want to do is they want to shake all these people out right here. Once this goes down to maybe 60%, 70 to 60%, when that happens, then we would probably see that bullish move upwards because then they've made their money from these 20% of people who get kicked out of this trade. And once they made their money, they're like, all right, we'll actually push it to where it needs to go. And then they'll push it upwards. So keep that in mind, guys. A lot of people don't believe in market manipulation, but it's pretty clear. And for example, if you look at gold here, when COVID first started in March, right? So when gold started in March, it's the same situation that I just explained right now, right? So COVID started right here in March. When COVID started, gold was supposed to go up because that's basic fundamentals. If there's uncertainty in the world, gold is a safe haven currency, and people would put their money in gold and push it up, right? But that's the opposite happened. What happened was from March, it actually went down and the US dollar gained in strength during the beginning of COVID with regard to this pair, which makes no sense because if you look at the other pairs, like if I use the US dollar pairs, for example, let me see if I could pull this up here. Yeah, so if I pull up the US dollar over here and you look at how price moved during that same time period, I don't want to mess this up. All right, so looking at right here, so you can see that the US dollar gained in strength when COVID happened. This doesn't make any sense because COVID happened, stores closed, the US dollar got weaker, they gave stimulus. This should have went the opposite direction, right? So this goes to show that like market will be easily manipulated in instances where people know that price is for sure going to go up. Like right here, everyone thought price was going to go up, right? If I replay it to this point, all signs show to a bullish move, right? If you look at this here, all signs show to a bullish move from this point. So it just wouldn't make sense for this to drop. However, when COVID, like all the lockdowns happened in the US, it ended up dropping heavily. And what happened was a bunch of people were trying to buy because they kept trying to buy the dip, but the dip never stopped until the banks made their money. The banks made their money down here towards the end of March. And then at that point, it starts to shoot up, right? So it can have a delayed reaction to the news. And that's why I would be careful trading something like gold that is highly manipulated, especially with regard to the US dollar and the stimulus with, all of the things that are going on with the world. So be careful with this. And then we'll see how this goes. But yeah, for gold here, obviously I see a bullish move happening, but it might have some retracement first before it actually pushes up. So it might come down slightly and then it might go up from here. And even if that happened right there, it would still be a drop of about 200 to 300 pips. So keep that in mind. Milton, if you're going to be looking at that. Let's see. Bill Bugatti said, I made $1 million today on IDEO. Such an obvious trade. All right, let me fix this right here. But yeah, guys, so if you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. You guys can see my Telegram is blown up. I have about 20 messages to get to, have 30 text messages, and have about 100 emails to read from this this morning. So if you guys sent me an email and I haven't gone back to you, or if you guys send me a message on Telegram, then I will get back to you shortly. But currently right now, if you guys don't have any other questions, I might be cutting this session a little short because I have to respond to all these questions and I just don't have time to get through everything, followed by all of the one-on-one sessions today as well. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat so I can analyze anything else that you guys need before you get off. Otherwise, I will be calling our last trades at about 10 a.m. in about 45 minutes. And then we will be getting on with our day. Our US 30 is still looking good right here. It looks pretty bullish. And yeah, if it breaks the structure, then it's probably going to continue up further. I think everything else looks good too. So let me look at our other positions here as well. Our AJPY, about to hit full TP, guys, 50 pips. Our NZD USD on its way to full TP, 50 pips as well. USD CHF still in profit about maybe 40 pips right now. So everything looks good. Our AJPY is about to hit full TP right now. So that looks great. Hopefully you guys locked in some profits this week. We're back in the profit, guys. It was a slow week last week because of Christmas. It was a slow week this week because of New Year's, but we still made a ton of profit this week as well. You guys have seen that I was very careful with our trades because, I understand how the market works. I understand how it's moving during the holidays. So that's why we had less trades, but our trades were all still on point. They're all hitting TP. And we should be able to close out this year on a very, very great note. So I'm going to let this hit full TP here. I think that's it for the questions. And just a reminder, if you guys haven't already, please go ahead and like the stream just to help the growth of this channel. That way I can continue to go live for you guys every single day because, obviously this takes a lot of time out of my day. I don't necessarily need to go on this live for you guys. I can do this for the premium members only, but I'm here to help all you guys out, whether you guys are K2 members or not. And just one more reminder, if you guys aren't subscribed to K2 Premium, the trial is going to expire either today or tomorrow. So if you go on the website here, you guys can scroll down to the bottom. You'll have access to all of the K2 indicators, the entire K2 course with all of my strategies. Let me see if I can pull that up for you guys right now, just so you guys can see what's included in the course. So if you guys have the course, you guys can see right here that It includes all the basics, all the trading view tools and functions that I use, all of my indicators that I've created, and all of my strategies that I apply. Just a reminder for all the Forex trades, I only apply this strategy right here, which is the K2SR strategy. And then for US 30, I only apply the daily US 30 strategy. And this is the strategy that we use for this entry right here. So if you guys want to learn that, if you guys want a one-on-one mentorship with me, it's only $50 for the first month. Otherwise, this is going to expire by today or tomorrow. And then you guys will have to pay full price. This full price is also going to be increased as well because the demand for K2 is just getting too high, right? Everyone's making money with K2, everyone's profiting, so everyone wants to sign up to K2. The problem with that is there's only one of me and there's like hundreds of you guys. So in order for me to give you guys that one-on-one treatment where I can teach you guys to trade exactly how I do and, you know, basically train you guys to be profitable traders, we need to limit our signups because there's just too many people signing up, and I made it too cheap anyways. Everyone said this is way too cheap already, so I'm probably going to increase this. This is going to disappear. So if you guys want to get in for $50, make your money back with like one trade, sign up to that. Otherwise, this is going to disappear. This is going to increase, and whoever signs up after the New Year's is not going to have unlimited sessions with me. So you know, this is your chance. If you guys want to be profitable traders, you guys want to learn from someone that actually knows what they're doing, you guys can go ahead and watch all of my previous webinars. I do this every single day, and you guys can see how I trade. Otherwise, thanks for showing up, guys. I think that was it. You guys can catch me on the Telegram. I'll try to respond to everyone's questions within the next hour or so. And then I will catch you guys on the upside. So I'll probably try to go online tomorrow. Let's see. Yeah, for New Year's Eve, I'll try to hop online for you guys just to see if there's any last minute trades we can take. Otherwise, Happy New Year's to you guys. If I don't see you guys till then, I will catch you guys in the Telegram and I'll still be live on there. But we will try to see how this plays out from now until 10 p.m. All right, guys. So thanks for showing up. I'll catch you guys later and hopefully I'll see you guys before the New Year's. Otherwise, Happy New Year's, guys. And